All right, so welcome everyone. Akasha here. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm super excited. I can't hear myself, so something's wrong here. Here we go. Um, Hopefully you can hear me. Am I muted? No, I'm okay. Okay, good. So I'm gonna have to ask my honey buddy to come back and help me. My assistant Donna isn't here. So welcome everyone. Akasha here, Nana Akasha, your fairy godmother. And so happy to have that unofficial title because it was given to me about 16 years ago, I think, by one of my first clients. And she called me the fairy godmother of money. And then we began to have this beautiful experience really for me of being who I am, being who I want to be. So now I'm a lot older and I have pink hair, and I remember the first time I finally went to a salon and had them make it all pink. This is me. But at the time it was like, I'm going all in. And I got up the next morning and I walked into the bathroom and I opened my eyes and I saw this pink hair. And it was like this wave of relaxation went over me. And it was like, oh, okay. Finally, there I am. That's me. That's my real hair color. And when it's not, it won't be anymore. But this part of my hair is bothering me. So I'm so happy that you're here. I'm so happy we're going to have so much fun. So we're going to spend 3 hours doing what I'm calling the 11/11 Festival of Light. So you can bring any challenge, any goal, anything that you want to this moment. This is about fun and play and getting help from magical creatures and guides and fairy realms and all kinds of things. So take a look and we're going to get started. All right, I'm getting Chris to help me because I'm going to do an opening now. I'm going to channel an opening and just share with you a little bit what we're going to do. And then in that process, so you're going to want to be somewhere beautiful, soft, quiet, safe, turn off your notifications, and then relax into this moment because we've just gone through an eclipse, a full moon eclipse, and it's in Uranus, which is the planet of awakening, but it's also disruption, progress, sudden change, U-turns, and they're both exciting and scary. So you might already know, bam, this is what's changing for me. You might have a sense it's going to be around money. It's going to be around the sense of safety, personal safety, feeling grounded, your home, your relationships, those Taurus qualities, but it's also hitting you in whatever way is personal for you. So all of these energies now, just a few days later, this gorgeous portal of light, 11/11, these two 11s, these two ones, 1 and 1, are lining up. They're basically like enormous columns, just enormous white columns of light. There's 2 on either side, and we're floating gently towards them, and we're going to float through them like some ancient portal. And I have been seeing this since the meditation on Monday. So I always do a spiritual weather report every Monday and a multidimensional meditation. What does that mean? It's about what are the energies this week, how you will see them showing up, how to interpret how you're feeling, what's happening, decisions and choices. Thank you. And it's going to help be a weather report. You're going to decide when to do what, and it'll help you understand yourself and what's happening better. And then you're going to be understanding the magic in your life. You are a hero. You are a heroine in your own life. The hero's journey is so delightful. So make sure you come over to nanakasha.com and you check out get on the list so we can send you things, or go to the shop.nanakasha.com, and we'll put the links below. There's a lot of free stuff. There's stuff on special, like right now, you can get an Akashic Records reading with me for 30 or 60 minutes, and these are profound. People are usually like, wow, that was a lot. I've got to listen, take notes. There's a healing in there to repeat. There's a life that it's amazing and epic. And I get to be there. It's awesome. I love this. And this is the kind of thing that used to seem like magic to me, but the magic we were told wasn't real. Like, oh, it's cute that you're a child and you want your wands and you want to be fairy and you want to wear your fairy wings. Well, I have fairy wings and I have wands. I have some of my wands right here. And yet when you follow your own intuition, you are becoming aligned with light. It's like you are always going towards 2 giant pillars of light, or 4, directing you. And so on Monday in the multidimensional meditation for the full moon eclipse, which energy is still going, so it's relevant to do that. I've been doing it every day since then, that meditation at night when I go to sleep. And if you fall asleep during it, that's okay. And what happened was that the sun eclipsed the moon, and the sun is gold ray. It is the gold sun rays. It's full of codes and life force. It's that ability to manifest and to be the light and to open your solar plexus and stand inside of the center of who you are. We call it your willpower. And I prefer to think of it as, oh, I'm back. Here I am. And all of that cut us off from our moon, which is sacred feminine, intuitive needs and emotions. And what we were shown is we're going to go on a big change. And so guess what? We're going to give you an opportunity to separate from those emotions that no longer serve you. So any beliefs that you have now, please bring them into this circle. As you enter this circle, you're entering into what I teach is called the infinity healing chamber. It's built out of ancient and new technology that is activating from sacred geometry. It has a whole structure to it that I teach how it's put together, but essentially the gold and the silver ray, which represent the sacred feminine and masculine, or yin yang, or above and below, or physical and spiritual, and so on and so on. That duality is what we're here in 3D for and have the honor of getting to express. But being in 3D doesn't mean we have to forget everything we were. And so intuition is so much fun to develop. It's so much fun to play with understanding your truth with a pendulum or with a body compass or muscle testing. It's so much fun to, like my intuition awakening students, they get to practice and they get to be in the sacred space, in the safe space, and I'm holding space, and then I'm giving them the feedback, and I can see what they're going through personally, and I can see what they're perceiving and where their senses are opening. And this, to me, this is magic. I can see energies and light, and I can sense them in many ways. Sometimes I do see, and sometimes it's a different kind of knowing. So when you unfold and you come and you play, you're happy. And what the dolphins taught me was when you play, you're in a higher state of consciousness, and you're blissful and you're happy and you're joyful. And guess what? It's a state of power. So we have, in my light body healing, I have energy programs called power programs. And the Joy Power Program is incredibly powerful, strong. It's not frivolous. It's not like, oh, you're being happy, but you're not being realistic. Well, I want to invite you back to your imagination. I want to be your fairy godmother. And I want you to realize that you're in the land of magic. So this is one of my unicorns. This is version 3 of Uni. And my children and I all had one we got at a fair when they were very little, and we all loved them to the point where they weren't any good anymore. And then Chris has gotten us 2 more versions. And there's baby ones, and they sit around here. And I can't say that I've ever actually spoken to a unicorn, maybe that'll change today, or seen them, but I have clients who have. And that's the really fascinating thing, is that I have a lot of business people see unicorns. So what's that? Like, how do you go from your serious business mind and that sense of responsibility that we were told to have? Everybody be serious, everybody be present, be worried every minute of your life, double check your to-do list, make sure everybody's pleased, be everything to everyone else, and on and on and on and on and on. And we are so saturated in the awareness that that doesn't work anymore. So thankfully, we've moved into, well, how do we do it? And then we consumed a lot of self-help information and the new age and different things. And now we have the internet and we've got books and things everywhere. When I was waking up, there was, nothing. It was really, really, really difficult to find anyone or anything or a book or a bookstore. Luckily, I lived in LA and there was the Bodhi tree. So now you don't need that because we have all entered a new age. We've entered a new age of unity. We're at the 9th wave of consciousness, which is the top of the 9-step Mayan pyramid. And each of those steps represent waves of consciousness. We have arrived back at the top of the temple. What are the symbols? What are these sacred geometry? What do the essence of the healing powers of the crystals? What do fairies or angels or these other realms do? What do nature spirits do? What does it mean to you when you're at the beach? I live at the beach and it is all I have ever wanted my whole life. So I have found different ways to get a little closer. Now I live 2 hours away instead of nowhere near it. And then I lived 8 minutes away drive, and then I could walk to it, and then I could see it. And now I live on it. And that took a lot of time. But the journey was really magical because I was discovering my ability to create my magic. And so what is my magic? It's accepting who I am rather than judging it. It's accepting all those things about my childhood that I didn't think were good enough. I was told it was cute when you were little, but stop believing in these things, or stop acting this way, or you're not good with that, or you should be this, and on and on. So we all know we've been conditioned, and now we get to wake up to that. So how cool is that? And if you accept what's in this present moment, instead of arguing with the future or dragging around the past, the beliefs, the fear, the pain, the blame is the emotional state of guilt. And if you're dragging around guilt, you are carrying an energy within your field that is the second lowest state of consciousness that you can live in and not be dead physically. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, everybody pretty much has some guilt in them, but we used to have a lot more, and we're lightening up. When you enlighten, you move to higher states of consciousness. You have more awarenesses. You can see from more perspectives. You become less judgmental. You don't believe you're the victim. You feel empowered, courageous. You start giving yourself permission. You become inspired. You become hopeful, you become willing, and then you pop into the state of acceptance. And when you do acceptance, it is not saying that's okay, that person did it to me, or any kind of condoning or choosing. You are just taking your power back because you're going, oh, okay. So instead of avoiding what I've been through or not feeling good enough to see what's happening, and I see it all with my students and everything. We're doing an intuition awakening class right now where they're becoming certified to do intuitive readings through multidimensional body scans and going into the Akashic records. And so seeing how they blossom and how it feeds on itself and how they are battling those demons. So we were talking about the hero's journey. Well, if you're familiar with the hero's journey, and I'll send out a link to this awesome little TEDx video about the hero's journey and Joseph Campbell. Here's what happens in your life. It's happening in every area of your life. And this is like having a magic wand that you can wave and have more clarity about what's going on for you. Instead of feeling trapped, stuck, burdened, wrong, unable to trust, afraid of speaking up, afraid to set boundaries, just you name it. Okay, I've seen it all. I've been doing this work for 33 years on myself, on clients, on students, and I have seen thousands and tens of thousands of people, and we all follow these patterns. Our stories are different and they're very real. But when you decide that you're actually a magical being of light, that you're ready to just vibrate with that, you're ready to just play with that. How cool is that? And how would it feel? And if you feel so stuck you can't imagine it, then just come on this magical ride with us and see what speaks to you. You're going to have someone come and channel angels and then dolphins and whales. And we've got just like so much magic coming through. And that's the fun about channeling is what do? You activate your own light body every day. You discover a way to speak to your own inner authority every day. You clear and cleanse your emotional body, your physical body, your cells from the limits that no longer serve your highest good. What's optimal in this moment? If I ask that every day, what is optimal for me in this moment for my highest good? I'm ready and willing and open and receptive to it. You've just said the magic words. You don't need a spell book. You don't need a wand. You need to step back into you. You are a portal and a conduit of energy. You are the point where magic happens because creation comes through you. When you decide to make a dinner and then it ends up on the table and people are eating it, yum, yum, you've manifested it. You created it out of nothing. You had the idea and you got the resources and it sounds like, yeah, big deal. Anybody can do that. Exactly. And guess what? And you can do so much more. But then you hit the blocks. And so the 1111 portal is taking us still really heavily in that eclipse energy, which is big change. All right. And big change is always good, but it can feel a bit intense. So a lot of my students are feeling a lot of intense energies, a lot of deep, deep old energies where we saw a bunch of stuff came up that's sticky in the planet, the idea of retribution for your intuitive powers, for being able to heal with your own mind or doing meditations and yoga every day, whatever your form of vibrational medicine is, all of it is having things you love around you, learning to speak to the energies. I begin with herb bundles because these are sacred nature spirits. They hold wisdom. They each have a different power. They have a different smell and they have a different energy. And there's cinnamon and copal and rosemary and sage and all kinds of stuff in here. We made this in a ceremony here at my house. So this is filled with magic. It's filled with the ceremony that we did, with the energies we imbued. It's filled with the love. It's filled with all of the individual herbs that then come together to create a wand like energy. When the smoke comes, it's sacred smoke and it's able to move through your energy field. You're moving it over your chakras, you're moving it around, you're opening the portal from your crown and you're letting it carry away anything heavy, anything that no longer serves your highest good and what is optimal for you at this time. Okay, so magic is something that I used to wish was real. And then I went through kind of a lost innocence, depressed time of, feeling like, things just don't work out the way they're meant to. And going through the pain, my daughter died, my first business closed because the economy crashed, but it was for me like this whole end of my entire identity. And now it's this wonderful portal that turned me, talk about 180 degrees, probably spun me around about 10 times and threw me across the universe and then smashed me on the ground is how it felt. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what to believe in. I felt completely useless. I felt like a waste in my life because I had put everything I knew into my fashion design business, exploded and did all this success. And then it crashed 3.5 years later with the end of the 80s. And department stores owed me lots of money and they declared bankruptcy. So they didn't have to pay me, or they paid me a couple $1,000 or something. And I couldn't sustain that. So something that felt like my identity, my success, everything I had done, and I was someone to be proud of, and look at this, all just deconstructed. So this happens to us over and over and over in life. And we do go through phases. Give me a sec. Who have we got here today? A fashionable panda. Usually they're a unicorn. Panda energy. Thank you. Cacao. Thank you, cacao. So cacao is what chocolate is made out of, and it's grown here. And it's actually a heart medicine. It opens the heart. It connects you to warm heart energies. It fills the space, and you can do your own little heart ceremony right there. So I want to invite you to bring more magic into your life, to just suspend the disbelief, quiet the doubt mind that has been telling you you can't, you shouldn't, it's silly, it doesn't work. And the one that's telling you to run and rush, okay? And play. So the dolphins want you to play. And I have a long history of healing with dolphins and talking to dolphins. And we're going to be doing a dolphin retreat here early next year. And it may be the last time we get to go heal and talk to the dolphins. So we'll see. And learning that communication, how to open to a dolphin is very different because they are one of 3 species on the planet that have developed a female grandmother. Menopause doesn't happen in anything else. Everything else says, oh, you're done with reproduction, and turns off the feminine. So we're the grandmothers, and they also vibrate and see and manipulate and move energies and move between realms in a way that most beings that are informed don't. So they have lots, they can recalibrate you and do a lot of wonderful things. And their number one quality, their number one message is play, 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 play. Okay, so now what we're going to do is you can put a question in there, and I have my thing here. So let's say, hi, Destine, woohoo! Clear past unjust treatment, pain, and sadness. So remember, whatever's coming up for you can be very deep right now. And that's what's so beautiful about 1111. If you really just tune into it, as these enormous 4, 2 on either side, pillars of light that create the 11 and the 11. And then there's this canal through it of this exquisite, clear liquid light. And in the meditation on Monday, the sun came and eclipsed the moon, and it picked us up in a boat, like a little gondola or something. And we were riding on the moon. And the new direction we went in was we were eclipsed from the old energies, and we went through that darkness, and we came out the other side in a clear new moon, clear new emotions. You get to choose the emotions that are going to serve the new you. What is your new identity? You're not supposed to intend it. You're supposed to walk into it. You're supposed to be present. And at the end of it, they left us, just be here. Don't project past through the gates. What will I experience tomorrow for 11/11? Bring in your energies into that boat. The sun is holding you. You're connected. 4 suns, solar plexus, 12th chakra, so great central sun chakra, our sun, great central sun. They've all connected. This is a very important aspect of energy that, just like the sacred feminine, has not been allowed to play, to be intuitive, to know the answers, to bring beauty, to speak to wise, to speak to wise creatures that are already here, that could be mentors and helpers and healers. The sacred masculine needs to be accepted in that you can handle your power and your light. And now you're floating on this new feminine energy. What is under you? And it's very gently gliding us between the 11/11 portal. All right, so that's where we are now. I am going to take us into a welcome, and then I'm going to take your questions. So if you would like me to answer a question and channel whatever guide or being, we've already been bringing in a lot of beings. I just got done with a class I was teaching with my Intuition Awakening students. And so we've got all these energies here. I've got these cards here. We've got our unicorns are here. We've got Pegasus. Wow, we had so much Pegasus coming through this week. So I have this Pegasus energy, and angels and dolphins and who knows what, the fairies. I really want to talk. So Cheryl, the meditation literally saved me. Oh, I'm so glad. The Monday one. I'm a Taurus, so it's been extremely intense. Chris is a Taurus, and it is just amazing how intense it is. Like, I'm feeling, but I'm on my own journey, and it is nothing like what he's experiencing. It's really intense. Unjust energy towards me and my love from one of my best friends. I'm glowing right now with all the beautiful energy. Oh, good. I'm so glad. So go ahead and put, if you want to, the fairies. Yeah, I know they do pull pranks sometimes. Hi, okay. Faye and Dolphin, Wiles and Happiness. Good. Okay, Destine. Hi, Sylvia and Damara and Sandra and Jillian from Scotland. Woo, yay. Okay, guys. So thank you to my honey bunny for connecting my phone so I can see your chat. All right. So, wow, look at that. Beautiful. 330. In a couple of minutes, it's going to be 333. And this is a very powerful number, 33, 3, a 33, and the 33rd degree. And the interesting thing about that, if you know about Adam Cadman or mystery schools, sacred geometry, this is what I help people learn, is why these things matter and how they affect you. That is the activation of your core seed, your template, and you're just like a nut, you're just like a seed. If you get that seed in the right environment, it knows what to turn into, and so do you. All right, good. So let's see what we've got, and take a deep breath. If you can, light a candle, a little incense, breathe in some of the energies from here. We have some really beautiful new things that I've I've got a new pyramid here. I've been unpacking some of my things, and we have Kokukan. I'm going to the pyramid of Kokukan to meditate at the top of it tomorrow for 11/11. And one of my clients is here, so we're going to do that together. And this is the guide to transformation. Shed the old, reclaim your feathers, and remember that you're that creator. So what does the creator have? It has a wand. So we got a lot of wands here. This is a beautiful double wand that I love. I've got this big wand. So you can tune into these energies. Anything that is here with me may be speaking to you. A kyanite wand. This is grade 4, throat chakra as well. Communication. This one is a real grumpy, bumpy one, but it has a lot of power. And most of these have been to pyramids for activations with me and sacred things. There's another one. Here's a really beautiful one I got from what I call my fairy godmother. She's a very magical lady. That is a smoky quartz, has some beautiful things in there. This might be calling to you. Smoky quartz was the first crystal that spoke to me. This is gold anodized crystal wand. And this one is a very special. This is a Lemurian seed crystal. It's a wand that was found planted in dirt. They have vibration here and they communicate. They're a communicator crystal. And this is my favorite new one I unpacked recently. It's an incredible light being. This brings in fractals, multiple dimensions of a lot of light. This helps you to travel safely wherever you're going within your Akashic records, where you're expanding, when you dream, when you meditate. This kind of clear, beautiful guide can always be there. This one's quite nice too. Okay, momento. All right, so we've reattuned to what happened Monday. So whether you did, like some people were sharing, thank you that meditation saved your life, that it helped you, it guided you, activated you. It really took me. I've really been doing it every night. And I noticed the landscape changes. Do you know what I mean? So this is what I want you to notice. Be here now, be in this moment. Don't come with expectations, come with openness, readiness. And when I guide you, close your eyes and allow your awareness to come into the center of your being. And I'm going to do some light body work with you right now. And you can go ahead and close your eyes, or you can watch me if you want to for a moment. We're bringing some amethyst, has asked to come into the heart center. And I'm doing some infinity light weaving, creating that classic cross, a cross within the circle, a cross within the circle. And this amethyst it looks like in your heart. So I want you to allow your inner thoughts, your senses, just focus only on that heart center. It's growing as if it was 1 point, now it's 2 and 3. And I want you to, whether you can see it or sense it or just feel something, just play with it. Say, well, what if it was there? What if I could feel it as strong as I'm feeling it, as strong as I trust my physical senses? What if I trusted this? What if I trusted my heart? And then feel it. And I want you to take a breath in, and I want you to bring it straight into your heart center through the tip of that amethyst. You see it coming in there. You ask it to come in there. You watch it. You imagine what it would look like coming straight here. And it expands through the whole heart, through the amethyst, bringing that purple, that sense of open crown. I'm my own authority. I'm ready to step into my new identity. I'm evolving and becoming my own truth. I am my own authority. And you breathe that and it goes out as you let it go through your field. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, we have entered this sacred space, and we give great thanks to the gold and silver ray. Acknowledge the gold and silver ray that have come and created a temple of light above and below us. We're standing in the center. We're suspended here between the worlds. Take a slow, deep breath in, take it up your nose, let it expand across the forehead, and we're weaving that open as it rises out of the crown, and you let it go like a fountain. And again, just watch it. What would it look like? What would it feel like if it was gently raining down over me, around me? What color would it have? Would it feel like it's moving through me? Or is it soft on my skin? And I'm going to let it cleanse and clear all that's distracting me from this moment, all that's distracting me from play and from joy and from happiness. Now I want you to say in your heart, I'm ready and willing to release who I was, to step into the unknown, to align with my highest good, and I'm ready, and I'm open, and I'm super receptive to a clear and open connection to my highest good and my senses that are connected to magical realms. Now take a breath in, bring it in through your fingertips. See and feel it coming through the hands and spinning in the palm and rising up and going through the elbow into the heart. Breathe it in and then let it go and watch how your light body is lighting up. Now, enter this space. Who are you when you have accepted your magic? Who are you when you say, yes, I'm a being of light. I am on my path. I am guided. I came here fully funded. Everything I need is encoded within me. Everything I need is offered around me in all dimensions, in all times, in all spaces. I am multidimensional. I'm ready to live that way so that I can rise to my potential, live the life my soul intended. I am ready. I'm so ready. And I want to play, and I want it to be fun. And I really want a connection. I am so ready to let go of my belief that I can't, that I don't, that others do it better than me. And I step in to my full open capacity as it is now. I receive and connect to what is optimal for my highest good at this time. And I agree. I accept it. That's different than just putting out there what you want and then not dealing with the blocks you have to it coming to you And in 3, we're going to do an infinity weave and bring the heart energy through the throat, up through the crown and the third eye, down through the throat. And we're connecting like a figure 8. These 3 centers, the crown and the third eye, are like one. And relax and agree. I'm ready and willing to reconnect to my own flow and my own wisdom. And I'm beginning to open the portals of light within my body, within my chakras, within all of the levels of my rainbow light body, my pillar of light. I have within me a connection to all that I am and all that I was and all that I could be and all that I require. Now there is a very beautiful little, to me it looks like a dragon. It's a winged creature that has come, and it's landed right next to the right side of this pillars of light above you. You're floating in this gorgeous sun. The sun is carrying you. You're floating on all of the emotions of empowerment, courage, willingness, neutrality, acceptance, reason, love, peace, gratitude, enlightenment, joy. Those are carrying you. I'm ready to see this. I'm ready to perceive this. I'm ready to activate my 360 senses into the realm of what I consider magic, knowing I'm protected and safe inside of this sacred space. Now receive it, feel it, sense it. What does it look like? Right now I'm seeing like a little fairy tale land that looks like candy horses and pink, like almost decorated cookies. Everything's so pretty and frilly. What does it look like and feel like to you? What does magic taste like to you? What would it be like if you got up and felt like your day was magic and that you connect to magic and magic speaks to you? Maybe the angels speak to you. Maybe little baby dragons speak to you. When you see a dragonfly, you know it's telling you something. You stop, you listen, you open your heart. What does it feel when you flow through your day? You see the glowing energy coming from everything, joyously connecting with that which is optimal for you. Feel it and see it and let it become in your taste buds, in your breath. Goes into your bloodstream and it swells your heart. Where did you lose your magic? Where did you lose your belief? Where did you lose the connection, not just to the inner child, but to your power? To your innate, built-in, sacred, intuitive network. You have the state-of-the-art network. This little dragon pony, like it kind of changes. Sometimes it looks like some of you are getting little dragon and some getting like a little pony, some getting a little winged Pegasus type pony. I even see like a little, not a cow, like more like a bull, but like a baby bull, with a little floppy floof of hair here. So we are entering a sacred space. This is a space that has always been here for you, and you have been here before. This is a space of magic. Now, how does it taste when you can't stop your automatic reaction to say, let that feeling explode on your tongue. Now open yourself, feel where in my body am I feeling ready to open and say, I'm ready to receive guidance from my magical guides. from realms known and unknown, from parts of me in other lives, from mentors here, now, and then, from elementals, celestials, fairies, maybe from the angels, maybe from animal spirits and guides, maybe from ancestors. The whole world is open to us. We call in now these magical realms and these guides of light that are optimal for this gathering, that match this spherical consciousness that we've entered together. Now take a deep breath in and receive your guidance. See and sense your guide or your guides giving you visions, opening, integrating, expanding your senses, unbuttoning, unhooking, removing, releasing. We enter this sacred space in reverence, presence, and love. Light in our heart. We check at the door all the worry and the fear, all the guilt and the shame, all the victimhood, anger, and blame. We leave behind the grief and the regret. We leave behind the feeling of being a slave or being stuck or never being good enough. We leave behind all of it and rise into this beautiful moment filled with harmony. Harmony like a rainbow, but colors that are unique to you. All around you in this space, these energies are coming into you. They're relieving your congestion, your infection, your pain, your thoughts. They're lifting away the heavy clouds, the old burdens that you've carried. Aligned with your highest good, working with your highest self. As you are here, you are healed. Take a moment to feel and sense, perhaps ask or say, I'm ready and willing to release whatever is for my highest good, and receive. So we have now a unicorn and a Pegasus here, and there is an answer coming. So Destine says, I could really use some help from the Fae and the dolphins and the whales and happiness and joy to send healing to aspects of me that need love and healing and nurturing. Okay, good. So what's being emphasized for you right now, Destine, is that the unicorn keeps showing the gold horn and the spiral. It's like a shell that spirals, right? But it's gold. And that's what keeps coming forward, is this. This is about you. This is about awakening this inner eye. A unicorn, we see it as a symbolism of what's unique, but this unicorn is glowing, pointing the direction that you can do this too. This is an awakening and expansion of the pituitary, pineal, the crown, third eye, command center. And it's a manifesting. It's similar to the ancient Egyptians that would wear the snake or the uraeus on the head, which symbolized manifesting into the world, right? And so whatever this energy is, it's saying, put your gold out into the world, put it into a spiral. There isn't some parts and aspects of you that are ready. They all are coming together. So you're split. You're seeing things as they're showing like an old-fashioned movie that's split screen with a slick new movie, so it's like both on the screen, and this one's rattling and scratched, and it's got the little things on the side, and this one's just streaming almost like reality in HD, right? And the idea that you're split, you're seeing some parts of you that need healing, or you need to decide where the healing or the love goes. Stop that. It's all that. It's release it to become a bigger container, release it to hold more space, release it to be more gold, to think more, to manifest more, to paint. This is now like this unicorn horn is like becoming a paintbrush, and now there's little fairies around the end of it, and they're holding the end of it. They're holding the end of the paintbrush. So for you, that could manifest as actually painting or any form of creation. But the bigger part is like you're holding the handle, and there's like 3 of them right up before the brush part starts, or that little metal part, and they're holding the tip. So this is a form of communication. You aren't playing with it. You're not saying, I'm ready and willing to receive love for all of me and all parts of me and all lives and all times, because all of it. And then even better is to say, I'm ready and willing to receive fully with gratitude that which is optimal for me at this time. You can call it love, you can call it healing. It may come to you in the form of an emerald. Like right now, there's like an emerald gem and then a really emerald colored beam of light that goes for 2, and emerald is often really big for the sense of value, money, that kind of abundance. And that is a big energy right now with Taurus. However, it's also green is that color of the heart, but it's a color of healing and growth and life force and inner earth and the forest and this kind of energy too. So they want to communicate to you. And the best way they can communicate to you is with you picking up something that is a wand, right? Okay, so this right now they're showing us the paintbrush as a wand, as a device that's a wand. What does a wand do? It concentrates energy. So depending on which one of these wands is made out of what energy, that affects what's happening. And then there's the energy of this one's double pointed, where it's going, what's the intention that it's held with. So the paintbrush is the same thing. What they're saying is you pick up the wand of your choice. It could be physical, it could be focus, it could be a pen to write, or even if you're typing it into the computer. So go into that feeling. But again, this is very pointed. It's like this unicorn, okay, for you. And what you want to do is, this is the way for you to connect to the fairies. They're going to take the tip of it. You hold this, so you're connected. This is very cool. And the messages will come through. So you have automatic writing or free flow writing, I call it, or any other form of sensory communication. All right. So yes. Okay. Thank you. Ooh, thank you. Let's do another one. So we're going to clear that energy, and I'm going to clear all matrices, connections to Destine. So all the energy work, everything I've seen, where I go in to see where I assist in whatever is happening for you in the highest good, then I release that, and you're connected to all of those healing energies. So you can re-listen to it, because you'll always hear more than you hear. And then one time, all my students were saying that today, oh my gosh, I listened to this, or even with their own readings, because they're practicing now. And one lady said she went back and read all of her readings. She was like, wow. I was like, wow. So this gives you more levels of awakening, levels of receiving it. I didn't even hear that the first time. Well, that's okay, because it went in, but part of it didn't need to be heard consciously. You receive energies mentally, emotionally, spiritually, in every moment, all the time. Okay, I am clear. My throat is not. So, by the way, we sitting in front of the portal. So we're moving as we're talking, as there are beautiful guests are coming on. We've got Joan of Angels coming next, and then we have Claudia, and we have Anne, who's going to channel whales and dolphins wisdom. And so we're just gonna have fun, just so much fun. And this is why bringing you in from the meditation on Monday, being in this boat of the sun, floating on this beautiful new moon, that not new moon, but new emotional energy. This is the moon after you were cut off from it and you got to release the old from the eclipse. And so as you're moving towards this 11/11, which is really, we're feeling it already, of course, peaks tomorrow, going to go for several more days. We're still coming down from the massive change eclipse that happened. So you're not going to really know how things are going to unfold, what's really changing. We've had some big changes, but there's some old cycles that are coming up. There's a lot being cleared. So this is your chance to be in this serene space. I'm held, I'm being guided, I'm supported with all these positive, empowering emotions, and I can look up at these pillars of light in this 11/11, and I'm part of this festival. So we're all here together, and we're connected through time and space, and we're sending this out to our future selves, to our past selves, to the parts of us that were hurting, to other parts that's saying, hey, it's time to celebrate who we are. Remember who we are. We can channel, we can connect. There's always energy, there's always magic, there's always an empowering energy there to help you feel or sense or communicate or connect or release whatever is optimal for you to then connect to this next step. And you're always guided. So let's see. Oh, me too. I miss the Bodhi tree, Christy. Oh my goodness. Woo. So Jillian says, I'm moving through my second Saturn return in Aquarius, and I'm still wondering what this next exciting phase is going to bring. Is there anything coming forward for me? Let's see. There was something you put there that was so cute. Oh, the little, what is that? That's a fairy, right? Yeah. Fairies. Okay, yeah, the fairies are here. Aquarius energy. Aquarius energy is very interesting for you. So the unicorn and the Pegasus that appeared, they're both white, and they're sitting like in either side in front of these two 11s of huge light pillars, and we're coming closer and closer on this beautiful clear water being carried by the sun and guided by Uranus. We've taken Uranus, instead of being something that's going to suddenly jump out and change our direction, we're saying, hey, we've gone eye to eye, heart to heart with Uranus, and we're saying, okay, you're awakening me. Let me come on for the ride. And so they're just kind of sitting there, not standing, nothing. They're just sort of like part of the weight and the light and the guardianship of something with this pathway. So you have an expectation that it's hard, and you're too in your head, kind of. They're sort of tapping like this. So the fairies are like behind you, they're around your wrists and your fingers here, then they're popping up, but they keep hiding. They're like pop up around you and go back, and they look like kind of old-fashioned paintings of fairies. That's kind of how they're manifesting, and they're coming up especially on your right side, which would be your left brain, but your right side. But up here, they're popping up and they kind of tap, hey, it's a little bit of a tease, but it is more than that, because there's this painting. They're like somebody painting, not a painting for art, painting a wall, painting over. So paint over what you think Saturn is, what you think Saturn return is, what you think you have to go through, how you think you're going to experience this. You're not the same person. And so they're like, paint over it, and then start to go, oh, well, you know what? How else? They've got a childlike hide and go seek, or peekaboo. It's more like peekaboo, and then running and giggling, and peekaboo and running and giggling. And to not really play that with this energy, because Saturn is giving you expertise. It's giving you something to complete, wrap up, perfect, put a bow on it, like that aspect, instead of being holding you back, because we are right now in that place when Saturn and Uranus have been doing this for almost 2 years. I want to change. I want to hold you back. I want to change. I'm going to hold you back. So that energy is literally dissolving right now. You could get flung across the universe, right? Because you've been pushing so hard this way, but then it turned into more like, oh, just giving in to being held back. And there's a playfulness about that Saturn energy that, so the fairies are showing, like, jump on the merry-go-round, like going around and around and around, like spinning on that disc or something, spinning on a child's ride, and let go. They go like, wee, and let go. And spin, be with the spin, see the spin fun. See the leaving, the everything has to be organized and I have to figure it out. The other thing too is they really do want you. They're tapping over here. Now they're showing the brain. So it's the feminine brain, the right brain, the intuitive brain, the creative brain. To allow that free, we let go, and then give this much, much, much more time to advise you. I was like seeing so many different things to advise you. They're jumping on, like, Saturn's rings, and they're like somebody coming into a serious meeting with the Godfather or something, and they're just like completely clueless, like kids could be, and they're like, wee, la, 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 they're bouncing around, and it just takes everyone off guard. So they're saying, let this be a pattern interrupt, and turn around to see what it could be like right now. What could it be like right now? A lot more fun, and fun isn't dependent on what's happening around you, or peace, or calm, or lightness. There's a lot of that lightness, and then you might actually just allow them to sort of tap very gently here, and then it seems like a top of a cookie jar, your head, it just peeks up open, and they want to come in to play. So see about playing with those. Okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so we're going to get ready for our first guest, but there was an answer coming in for somebody. Oh, okay, here. Yes, it's for Jean. Jean, these aren't my real glasses. I forgot I was wearing them. They're just reading glasses. Sometimes I use them when I don't need my real glasses. I'm like, what's going on? So at the end, I'll do some more answers and reads. And so Jean Bernkrant, I'm so fatigued, I can hardly function. It started over a week ago. Any input? You're in this moment. We're all in this moment. So many of my students showed up and just like, oh my gosh, the intensity of the energies. And by the end of the class, they were glowing light. They had released decades and thousands of lifetimes of energies. And it's that acknowledgement of recognition. This is true for everybody. So now I can see why they wanted me to answer. You're on the journey. So if you go to a ride and it's like a boat in a river ride, and it goes through rapids, and then it comes down over a thing and it goes, and then you get on the ride again, it's still going to go through the rapids and come down and go down the waterfall. So you're on that. It isn't that you're doing anything right or wrong when you're on that ride. It's being in the boat, like we're supposed to be right now, looking around, trusting that guidance and that fully functioned connection, that knowing within us. So allowing yourself to be fatigued, to release it. There's a lot of crying. There's a lot of like, I just feel so heavy. I don't know how to get out of it. You're not supposed to figure out how to get out of it or what it means in the moment. You're supposed to feel it. So accept it, and then it moves through you, and accept it, and then it moves through you, and do it in an appropriate way, of course. And there's the dolphins are jumping. They're doing that play thing. And the fairies are again looking like these really old-fashioned fairies, but now they're dancing around more like we have a fairy crown on, like a little, a crown made out of flowers that stick out a little bit, and they're dancing around the edges of it. So we can all receive this. It's like a little attunement from the fairies. So you can close your eyes and you can see what you're sensing and feeling all around. It's out a little ways for me from my head right here. And it looks like the ends of all the little flowers or the grasses and things that have been woven together are at the end. They're like a little light. And then they're like popping into like little fairies. And sometimes that feeling of lightning bugs and that magic, that's really magic, deep magic to me, lightning bugs, and just lighting up. So that's who we are. They say you can light up, and they're lighting up your crown, and they're lighting up multiple senses, multiple ways for you to receive the fairy realms, the magic realms, like the lightning bugs, and that ability to light yourself up from within. Ooh, okay. Thank you. Okay, so now we have a beautiful guest who's jumped on because I had a couple of interesting things happen. My friend Kate, who's an incredible animal communicator, it's when I first got introduced to animal communication and healing work a long time ago. We became friends, and she had a funeral she had to go to. Then I had, or not a funeral, but somebody had died, and then there was somebody in the hospital, and it was tied to death, the kind of thing. Then I had my wonderful friend Donnie Hallisey, who, when she comes together, we channel and play in the light, and it's all kind of wonderful. And she said, friend died, have to go to a funeral. So it's very interesting when we weave these energies together. I've learned over a lot of time to just accept how they come together, to watch it more from witnessing the wonder and the magic of how things come together. So what we have going now is I want to share my screen really quick with you so that I can tell you a little bit about my beautiful guest. And let's see here. Where are you guys? There you are. So Joan of Angels, I don't remember. It's been a couple of years, I think, since we met. And she's come on a couple of summits I've done. And I super love her energy. She's one of those people you meet, and there's beauty, and there's synchronicity, and there's authenticity. And so she was so beautiful to step in today to bring us some wonderful messages from the animals, from the angels. So we're doing the 11/11 Festival of Light and Magic, and I'm Akasha High. And so whoops, we going? So first, that was me. And we'll put these links for you to get this. And I am doing Akashic Records readings right now. They're on special in the store if you want to go. And I had to share this. This was a solar initiation that I experienced at the Mayan site very close to my home here called Siwil Shaltun. They finally were back online, opened at 5 a.m. And we were able to be one of a small group of people who got to see and experience what they called the solar initiation. So go ahead and look through that portal of light in the center. You can see the wings of light around it, but this is one of the moments when the sun was perfectly aligned and it was coming through and activating our third eyes. And digital photos carry the energy of these moments. So this is a really beautiful gift. Okay, so Joan has been assisting and guiding people for over 40 years as a doctor of chiropractic and chiropractico, we say here where I live, and then as an intuitive guide. And her work is always focused on helping people live happier and healthier lives. And she says that your life and your calling are waiting for you to say Yes. And to move forward fearlessly towards living the life you came here for. Woo! You have a purpose and a mission. And once you find that, your life will take on new meaning. So what a perfect moment after the eclipse when we are literally turning towards a new identity and moving through this gate of light. You can find her at joanofangels.com. And if you get onto the list at nanakasha.com, you will get all that in an email. So hello, Joan. I'm so excited you're here.
I am so excited, Nan. I just can hardly believe it. I for so many reasons. I'm happy you invited me. I'm going to try to move to a little bit more light. I'm so happy to get the invitation, and when you read my bio, I said yes. Of course, I said yes. That was my first epiphany. But also, I get to meet you in person soon.
I know, isn't it fun?
I feel like I'm looking at your little magical corner, and it's like, oh my God, I'm going to see that magical corner. And
Yes, it's going to
honored
be
to
so
be here.
fun. I'm so happy you're here. So it's up to you if you want to tell everybody a little bit about yourself, or if you just want to start to bring in some angelic wisdom or healing. We're tuned into this moment where we're really aware, right? The energies that are carrying us, and that this 1111 portal of light is open for us. So it's this time for the magic, the angels, for healing, whatever you want. So you bring it through.
Oh, sweet, 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 sweet. I'm honored to be here, my friends. I am Joan of Angels. I was named Joan of Angels for the art that I paint and for the messages that I bring in from spirit and from the divine beings that are here to assist humanity. And I also carry these energies to remind you of who you are, to remind us that so many of us are of the angelic realms, that we are fifth dimensional frequency beings that live in a human form, and that because of the complications of the human form, and as opposed to the angelic frequencies, we sometimes come to give you guidance as to how to handle and navigate those swirling energies of time, of which these days there's more energy than ever. So I'm your host, Joan of Angels. In 2020, my guides reminded me that I was the only Joan of Angels on the planet, which was the good news. But I'm reminding you of all of this because they reminded me. And they said, you've come here for a mission. And that mission is to be done now. And this is the message from 220 on for each and every one of us, that we each were born for these times. And that it is our mission to actually remember that mission, to remember, and to not get so lost in the 3D gyrations, the 3D manipulations, the 3D consciousness lowering energies that will divide and conquer, you, because that which you came to do, which is so filled with light, is not that which the dark really wants you to do, and have devised countless ways to take you off your trail, off your track and path. And so today, because we have had to remind our channel Joan, we are also reminding you that it is the frequency of love that will carry the day. And it is carrying these frequencies that are part of the celebration of which you are doing today, but also part of the portals for which you're to enter, which will actually take even a gray day and turn it into a party day. And so we have a presentation that we're going to share with you. If I can share my screen, I should have mentioned it, but I have this lovely presentation on love, and I thought you guys might like to see it.
Go for it.
All right. Oh, and it's getting hot here.
I know, right? The energy.
The angels are in the house. So my dearest friends of all friends, we have come down here to love. We have come down to love even in the dark. We have come down here to love even when our heart is heavy and we don't even hear the pulse beating. We have come here to emulate this energy of love, which is the energy of the divine frequency. And when we free up our heart to step into this frequency, then all that we ask for will be made manifest. The healing of planet Earth, the healing of you, the healing of our communities, the healing of our soul, once we say yes to these higher frequency energies. So love activation, love is the heart of us all. I'm showing you and sharing some of the art that I have created. Well, I is the wrong word. We have created, because all of the art comes direct from source and literally has the ability to take me over. Some people go into a trance when they speak, or when they stand up on stage. And although we do trance, I think our trance is mainly in our art when we literally are in another zone. So those are the ways that we communicate without words. And we want you to get and remember your states of happiness. Well, for some of us, states of happiness are those states when we're really in bliss and in alignment with what our soul is here to do. And those aha moments that we get when we can leap out of bed knowing that we're doing that which rocks our soul. It's very simple. Are you waking up out of bed ready to face the day? Ready to sing your song? Are you hearing your song? So I first heard this ability of your heart to sing when I met my soulmate, Peter Hangarter. I have another name, Dr. Joan Hangarter, and I met Peter in a conference. And as I was walking down the aisle, I saw him out of the corner of my eye, and he did not look my type. He was blue-eyed. He looked kind of like a choir boy, and I wasn't into choir boy types. And I said, "Oh, not my type," and I continued to the stage. But when I came back, my eyes caught him, and I heard the Hallelujah chorus. And from the moment, and it was literally, hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. And the more it sang, the more I had no words. And I looked in his eyes, and I knew I was going to marry this person who didn't even look like someone that would have been in my heart. I couldn't even speak. By the way, I elbowed my girlfriend Joy, and I said, "It's him," like I did sign language. "It's him. Who's him? The one." Once I said the one, she said, "Do you want me to invite him for lunch?" And she took over. But those are the kinds of things your heart can sing. Your heart can put you in happiness. Love, my friends, love. I want you to feel into your body with me right now. Feel into the presence of your wings. So I ask you to sit up and bring your shoulders back, and actually bring your arms up, and literally feel those wings as we have in the corner of this slide. Feel that power of that essence. Open up your heart, because that is where the love resides. And we can say that word love in thousands of languages, in French, in Spanish, in German, in Mandarin. And there's so many words for love, because the word love doesn't describe how it feels to have desire, affection, like just to sing someone's praises and an endearment and adoration and a certain kind of yearning. And it's that excitement for life. But I'm going to tell you, love is more than that. I have a friend, Michael Jaco, an acquaintance, and I was interviewing him 2 weeks ago. You can find it on my YouTube channel. And we were talking about his experience as a Navy SEAL in Vietnam during that war. And as he had been learning, as he was training as a Navy SEAL, his intuition began to take over, and he seemed to be in constant communication with spirit, and always had an intuition for danger, where not to go and where to go. And this one particular day, I'm not exactly sure how he describes it, but they're in the field, and they've been exposed. I think they're about to step on a mine. There's something like that going on, or I have his story and my other friend's story confused in my head, but they're about to die. He knows they're about to die. Life is over. And all of a sudden he says, "What can I do?" And he starts to feel this enormous amount of love, pure, deep affection, warmth. His cells started vibrating. Those red blood cells became red love cells. Your red blood cells, guys, when you are infused with these frequencies, become red love cells. And he's in the middle of the battlefield knowing he's about to lose his life and the life of all of his teammates. And his cells are vibrating with love. And love is pouring out from his eyes and his heart and his fingers. And he's in deep prayer, feeling this blood flow of love. And then the next thing he knows, they've been told all clear. Whatever that danger had passed. And so I can tell you that that energy of love will do more than you think. And that is why we work with love. And we don't just work with serious spiritual love. Yes, there's all kinds of love, romantic, passionate love. I use the word luscious because love is the most luscious word on the planet. How can you define and confine love to one thing? To one romance, one relationship, one bottle of vitamins or something. No, when we have love in our heart, we love it all. We love so much that when we walk in a room, people go, oh my God, you're like a vibrant tower of light, of love light. And when we shine that radiant love light, we change the planet. We raise the vibratory frequency. And so are you feeling the activations that began? I saw Nan activating it when we began, and now we're like going into unconditional love, that unconditional love. You know, I'm going to see my sister this weekend. I love my sister, but I know that there's areas we don't get along. And so rather than focus on the divide, I focus on how much we love each other and in the fact that certain things have to play out because that's the family situation. But does it change that love? No. We raise those love vibes. We send love. We have compassionate self-love. Now, I will tell you this, if you don't practice any love but self-love, you will change yourself and change the planet. And you could do it not just for you, but you can do it for me. Because, and for Nan and for all of us, because each and every person who raises that frequency, even one iota, changes the outcome and the course of humanity. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. I have since heard that hallelujah chorus, guys, 4 times in pivotal times in my life. Once when I met my husband. Once when I won a lawsuit, a major lawsuit that changed case law around the world, or around the country for sure. Once when I found a preschool for my kids, and I walked in the door, and my heart started singing the Hallelujah chorus because I knew that if I was 5 years old, that was the school for me. And then I knew that if I didn't hear the Hallelujah chorus, I should never bother to bring my kids there, okay, or my friends there, or anyone else, because it's that Hallelujah chorus that is that love frequency of high vibration. So guys, I want you to practice these words all the time. All of these, I adore you, I'm giddy. In fact, the fairies and the angels are giddy with the excitement of love, of love, of love, of love, of love. So there's so many ways to love, and you can love your crystals. Oh my God, and I'm here to remind you that you need to love every single part of you. Yes, the crystals. And yes, do you know that these fingernails of yours need love? You need to take your hands and your feet and go, you have done such a good job. You write, you pick things up, you cook for me, you feed me, you bathe me, you itch me. Have you actually admired the complexity of every part of you that functions?
Can't hear you. Don't know if I froze or you froze. Let's see. Anybody hearing? She froze and I don't hear her anymore. If you hear me, tell me in the chat. Maybe I'm the one that disconnected. Well, there we go. Okay, I'm back. I think we lost her, so she froze for me. I was getting really revved up. I was like, I don't get revved up usually during PowerPoints, but I do that too. I teach with a combination of graphics and words to imprint there. So that love energy. Recently, I visited my kids and my family, and I was walking in the nearby shopping area, and this yelled at me, called to me. It's that beautiful rose quartz. So talking about love and embodying love, embodying that essence of crystals are nice because they hold a particular frequency. This stone holds that vibration of love, which is a state. I would call it pure love. And it's also a part of Gaia. It's part of the earth. And each of them have their own unique personalities, right? They have their own unique things. So, well, let's do a little, let's do a card right now. I can feel some angels coming, calling. And so why don't I look at, well, we're seeing if Joan comes back. Oh, good. I'm glad you can hear me. Let's see up here. Shelley Lambert. Let's go ahead. So Joan really embodies angels. Like she said, she got the name Joan of Angels from her paintings of angels. I don't remember exactly if she had been doing more of the spiritual work with the angels. However, we can definitely feel the angelic presence. Ooh. These aren't angels. Oh, that kind of angel. Okay, give me a sec here. So this is the angel deck we're going to use. It's Angels of Atlantis. And it's an interesting deck. This is one we got recently in a reading. It was Raphael, and they have the different angels that, as we know them, kind of, but from their powers in Atlantis and different representations. So Shelley says, I've been on a huge path of growth, and I'd like to know if there's anything you need to tell me. Well, the first thing that I'm getting very powerfully is I'm not the one to tell you anything, and you need to start to listen within. And that means more time. So your huge path of growth, it's all good. It's always good. But they're showing like post. So I live on the beach, and there's pelicans and seagulls, these small little dainty white seagulls. And then there's these frigates that are way up high, and they never land, or hardly ever. And the pelicans can, just soar like this. Sometimes I'm sitting in the hot tub and I'm looking at, and a bird is catching the wind and just hanging, way up above me, like just surfing it. So they're showing that, like, you can stop, winging it over and over. Okay, so we would like to ask the angels of Atlantis for the optimal energies and message for Shelley. Hi, Joan. Welcome back. I'm just picking an Angels of Atlantis card for Shelley while you were there, while you fell off.
I'm not lost. I was in another dimensional frequency.
Yes, that's happening on Zoom a lot. I was on an interview the other day, and about 10 minutes I'd been waiting, and it kept saying they were in another meeting. They were in another meeting. They were in another meeting. And then they emailed me, and they were like, are you here? And I'm like, yeah, but I can't see you. And it happened with one of my clients too. I was like, they're not here. And then, yes, they are. I got to notice they're there. That you get this email that says someone's entered your room, right? And I'm like, but I don't see them. So it's this multidimensional eclipse transformation. So, okay, Shelley, here is your answer from the Angels of Atlantis. It's Shamael, beginnings. So see if you can see that. I know it's backwards, but it's a very lovely, positive light. Talk about magic, right? The stars and the rainbow energy and the ripples, and like the water, like the emotions are fading, they're drying up, and you can walk now out into this area that used to be underwater. So it's beginnings, but it's not beginning to something new. It's getting to go into places within you that you haven't been able to go into. Now, this particular author of this deck, I'll find his name in a second. He sees the Angels of Atlantis as these orbs. So this is Stuart Pearce. And so to him, this orb here is how Shamael came. I don't know anything about Shamael. Joan, do you?
I don't know a lot about him, but I was reading up about Stuart Pearce yesterday, who was like a musician and a singer to the royalty and royal family, and his voice is that of the angels. And I was just looking at that deck. I don't have that deck, but I think I need that deck.
Yeah, I have this one, and I have angel heart sigils by him as well. They're very different. They're very, very unusual, but well, good. So I will, let me just see if there's anything else coming through, Shelley, for that. It probably answers everything, that your beginnings, that I like to intuitively read the cards, sometimes more than look at the book.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a really beautiful path. And you just have to be willing to go out, right, into this area. It's like the parting of the sea, or, this overwhelming, like if you were standing on the edge of the Atlantic and you're looking across at Europe, and now it's like that's gone away. You have a lot of guiding stars too. Violet flame is here with you, lots of violet energy, lots of crown amethyst energy, and the gold energy. All right, so you're really in a magical space. So if there's anything you need to be told as you're in the magic, go play, go have fun.
And she can't get lost. Those stars are showing her the way.
Right? Yeah.
You just can't get lost. That's the beauty of that. That's a gorgeous card.
Yeah. Nice. So, okay, Joan, so we were getting all like love and more love. And we're like, woo, feel your wings. And we're vibing with love. And then you froze. And then we're like, okay, but the angels are here. So we were like, where do you want to pick up?
All right. So that is funny. It's like, it's like taking a run down the runway and you start to take off and then wait, what did I forget? Because obviously that it kind of went down, but actually very, very interesting. How much time do I have? Because
about 10 minutes.
Okay, perfect. I knew you were going to say 10 minutes. Good. So you know what, guys, let's all get into that energy of our angelic self, of this vibration. Obviously, they didn't want me to continue with my slideshow because we're going to work onto the energy of you and I and Nan and the angelic realm. So dearest ones, we start, as always, thank you, Mother, Father, God, for this beautiful prayer, this beautiful blessing, this portal of loving kindness, loving energies, twin flames, soul activations, pure crystalline goddess energies that are infusing us today as we really step into the higher frequencies, that which is required now for this year for all of us here on humanity, that those of us who know begin to step into that which we are clear, that which will lead the way. And so, guys, this is the time more than ever to remember your divineness, to remember your divinity, and to really step into those frequencies for which we came to be. We all on this
call and on this show, for they showed me your souls came here for a soul heart purpose, as a volunteer, as a rainbow warrior, as a spiritual warrior, with literally encoded into your hands your mission, your divine plan, encoded just like that card, so you cannot miss it. It is your job, though, to stimulate those cells, to awaken and activate those DNA light codes that will awaken you. So as we talk now, let us do this together. So all together we can raise these energies. So placing your feet flat on the ground, wherever you may be, start to bring your shoulders back. Your shoulders, my loved ones, those scapular bones that you have back there are literally your wings. Those are your angel wings. And so it can be once again. So bring those shoulders back and start to activate those energies. And imagine right now that you have two golden, tall, angelic beings, one on either side of you. And they are delicately standing there behind you, pulling out each feather of those wings and cleaning them, and noting that they have been in hiding for centuries out of shame and out of fear. For yes, we know that of those times where you may have lost your life, but these are the times when you will enhance life. These are the times for which you are called to raise those frequency energies. So as these beings behind us are clearing out the feathers, removing any tar, removing any grime, notice how your wings begin to pop up in full frequency as you bring those shoulders back. And feel in, some of you may notice golden wings or white wings, lavender wings, multicolored wings, the rainbow tribes. For as we free ourselves, remember that these wings are part of your divinity. And as we stand in our power, we can never get lost again. So as you raise your arms up and shoulders back, and you can even stand in the privacy of your own home, and as in fact, maybe we could, let's see if we can stay. Yes, when we stand up and we embrace that energetic and we hold that, we master and run the power and the energy of the room and of the Zoom and of our lives, so that wherever we go, we push forth that energy of love and of angelic high frequencies. We become a walking tower of high light vibrational frequencies that will literally shift the energy wherever we go. And so you see, when we bring our wings up and our arms up, we can feel that presence. We feel that energy. But I will say the following. It would be wise to invoke this energy when you leave your home. It would be wise to invoke this energy when you walk into a new room or into a Starbucks or into any place where there are crowds of people, so that you can protect your own field, so that you can feel your own frequency. For we have learned that when we don't invoke this energy and we don't carry our magical selves out in the world, people may not see it. And when they don't see it, then you are not being seen and you are not doing your love, light, frequency, radiance work, for which we all agreed, whether we remember it or not. We actually said yes to becoming a tower of miracle power, a tower of light, to hold frequency, no matter what. So therein lies your non-conundrum. For should you say yes, then all it is wings up, my friends. And remember, you are part of that angelic brigade. You are part of the light brigade that is here now to change and transform planet Earth. And 10 years from now, when someone says to you, well, what did you do during those times? Those times of chaos, those times of confusions, those times when dark and light were in like this. How did you handle that? What did you do? You will be able to say, I stood my ground. I stood my sovereign power to be who I am and to know who I am and to allow those frequencies to hold steady. I held steady. I held that light. And before you know it, that planet became ever so bright. So we're here to do this collectively, my friends. I'm Joan of Angels. It has taken me 7 years to step into who I am. And I've come here to tell you that it won't take you that long because everything is set up now to go quickly, to like recover your memories and move forward fearlessly and step into the grand divine. Because the faster you do it, the faster we all align. And so it is.
So it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
So if you'd like a soul awakening session, you can, if you want to find more of Joan of Angels, go to joanofangels.com or feel free to join me on Miracle Mondays, where we raise the light. Of course, it's Mondays, 5 p.m. Pacific on YouTube. You can feel the bright. I teach you how to become that radiant being of light.
Wonderful. Thank you. I love your background. My computer's too old to be able to do that. And, you have the stars. It looked like the card we pulled. And then there's this pillar of light coming out of your crown. And it was just epic. You were channeling and embodying in many, many ways, and the glowing visual energies and everything just coming through. Thank you. It was a delicious treat.
Thank you so much. We're all to do this. We're to surround ourselves in our deliciousness. And of course, they told me that my computer, my Zoom died, so that they'd get me off of the power, the slides and go direct for source. So thanks.
Yeah, and I love that because that's everybody. Just go with the flow. There's always something, for some reason, if you just stay centered and see what's going on. It was like, oh, okay, well, let's pull a card. So, well, thank you so much, sweetie, and we'll talk soon. And
yes, we're going to see you soon, and we'll work some things out. We'll do some show together. It'll be great. All right, love you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. So we'll have all of her information, like joanofangels.com. And like I said, you can join at nanakasha.com if you want to get on the list. We send out all the information in the emails, or below here, we're going to make sure that it is in the replay. So you can see this whenever you want. You can repeat that beautiful little experience whenever you want. And so let's just take a moment. So I'm a light body healer, and I teach it, and I've learned a lot of different modalities. I'm a homeopathic doctor as well, a master level hypnotherapist, and I've worked with shamans. And I, as a seer, as a visionary, as a sense, that's why I teach intuition, is because it's like the biggest thing that changed me was understanding that the energies need to be cleansed, cleared, reconnected, disconnected, whatever they are. If they're thoughts, if they're doubts, if they're beliefs, if there's emotions, if there's something stored in the cells. So we're just give great thanks for Joan and for the angels and for that beautiful message. And we're just going to acknowledge that love that we've received, and go ahead and ask if there's any other message that is ready to come through, and ask for a clear and open channel back to this angelic realm or this love in whatever way it came to you. If you didn't sense anything, it's fine. It means it went right in and it's wherever it needs to be. You may never know, or you may have a dream later. Okay, good. Well, I'm super excited now because we're going to get to meet somebody who's new to me. I mentioned at the beginning, we had lots of interesting changes going on. And so let me share about our next beautiful, I think something about your helping your soul shine or something like that. Okay, that resonates totally with me. Hi, Claudia.
Hi, Nan. It's so nice to meet you this way.
Yes, good. Thank you so much for coming and playing with us. So let me get your proper, let me get your proper thing up here. Okay. So I thought I would pull another card. So let me look here. Dr. Richard Davidson, I would like to know what specific guidance you have for me with my uniqueness rather than just a general comment that will apply to a lot of people. Well, that's probably for another time to have like a full reading or a soul session. But let's go ahead since I was attracted to you. This is the, this one. This is the one. It's called Ascended Masters deck, I think. So, okay. So we ask for the optimal guidance for Dr. Richard's highest good at this time from the realm, guide, or energy. Okay, here it is. And it's Apollo, who's the Greek god of the sun. So that tells you a lot. You want to look in and think about the sun. That means step into your light, step into your power, that masculine energy that filled us with the codes of the sun actually brings codes into us. And it says focus upon your strengths. So again, these cards have that kind of like, you could listen to that, or you could read the picture. And so he's holding the light in his right hand. And it's radiating. It's not something that's taking effort, and he isn't holding a sword. So the idea of bringing that light, lighting your way, finding something that is going to show you, this is very much to me like a sign back on this, the face is more lit up than anything else. And so it's like, we're in that space of new identity, right? Of who am I now? But this is about seeing yourself, actually seeing who you are, taking a closer look and seeing it from the light. We would say light of day, but we say from the gold light. There's also some energy of this around balancing the masculine and the feminine, because you can hold the light and then you need to bring in and allow yourself to get the answers, right? To get the answers, you know how. And so you're kind of waiting for, something, and you're not satisfied, and you're feeling like you're resisting accepting what is in the moment, but it's softening. So there's a softening happening for you, and the best energy is to bring that gold light. You can get the chart of the gold ray, chart of the rays in the shop, and the gold ray is the 12th ray of creation. It contains all the other rays in it. That's another aspect of that, meaning you have within your grasp everything you need to create what you want, but you've got to see yourself. You've got to see yourself in the light, and not a mask that you've worn, not pretending to not know who you are, not waiting for someone else to tell you how to lead yourself, how to move forward. Woo! Okay, Claudia, let's see all about Claudia. So I love that stuff. We could go on and on.
So fun.
Okay, let's see. Now we've got Claudia. All right, so I like to do this because then people can read it, they can see. So here's her website at the bottom, Claudia, is it Sassy?
Yes.
Okay, Sassy, and she's a heart-centered visionary, intuitive, and a catalyst for light-filled transformation. So I saw that and I went, yes, please. And so she uses her multiple clairsensory gifts and her down-to-earth practicality to help you step into your divine light mission and into meaningful, joy-filled work that nourishes your soul. I'm so excited. So Claudia transmits highly transformative energies that serve as a powerful catalyst for change and moving beyond lifelong limiting patterns. Woo! No more of that crap. We're just not waiting anymore. We're just moving past that. So excited about the new earth that she sees emerging. Claudia acts as a global visionary with a fresh perspective. Ooh, we need that. And let's play with her and surf the edge of consciousness. I just love that phrase that you had there in your, in your bio, like
I
surf
love
the edge
that.
of
Yeah.
consciousness. Oh yeah, that sounds awesome. So welcome and thank
Thank-
you for jumping in and spending a little time with us on this special moment where we're really moving through a really powerful moment. So tell us a little bit about why you do what you do and how this is you're feeling this moment as what did your website say, that lets your soul shine?
Yes. So first of all, thank you for the invite. I'm super excited about being here, and it's so how things align. It still boggles my mind how things just fall into place, and it's just like poof, things happen. And that's one of the things, right? Like you never know. Like you can pivot in a second and don't know where you find yourself, and new openings occur. And this is one of them because yesterday we didn't know that we were doing this today. So
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I love those little moments of like, yeah, new openings. And I think this is what this is all about right now, this time, this portal, this moment in time. And why do I do what I do? I cannot not do it. And, and I believe that most of us, I'm not sure if it's all of us, but a significant part of us came here with a mission. I call it the divine light mission. And this is part of mine. It just is helping others fulfill theirs. And there was a new word or phrase or understanding that came in the other day. And it was, there's fulfilling our mission, which is the male part. But at the same time, it's living our soul's dream. And that's more about being. It's just sitting in it. So it's both sides of this equation, right? The male and the female, the receiving and the giving out. And so I was surprised as I was tapping into what I was going to do today or what we were going to talk about, that I was guided to read a story that came through over the 2 days. Most of it came through over Halloween and then the next day, which is All Saints, if you have a Christian background of any sort and ever heard that. But, you know, another 111 day. And it's about some of the old things that we might be stuck in and some of the new spaces that we're moving into. So I believe it holds a lot of energy. And there was an addition that actually came later by somebody who read the story and said, and then I see this. So it's like this threefold evolvement of this thing. And they were like, yeah, you're reading that. And I was also so excited. And I know you might have seen my Facebook story that I knew I would be like, I'm in France right now. And it's almost 12, not quite. What time is it? But it's like getting there, right? So I'm getting into 11:11 here.
Oh, that's right.
Really
Oh my
cool
gosh.
timing.
That's
And
fun.
it feels like it's this piece of, like when you do the math of 10, 11, 22, it's a 9, right? It's completing this circle, it's completion. And when you do the math on 11, 11, 2022, it's 1, it's new beginnings. So this is both.
Yeah.
So this is completing the old. And as you were saying this beautifully, like let go of the old, of all those old stories, of all the old energies, of all that stuff that you don't need anymore, and step into the unknown and into the curiosity of things, right? And I love the whole play aspect of it too, because that's what it is. It's playful. So much of what we are moving into has to do with play, right? There we go. And so we have our furry friends on our shoulders. Yeah. And then Joan was mentioning light codes already. And this story, is called the money codes, which is a subset of light codes. And light codes, as I understand it, are a multi-dimensional form of communication. They transmit higher knowing and feelings. And whatever gets transmitted through a story, through another channeling, if we go through or whatever, however it occurs, it activates in you what already exists. It just brings it to life. It goes like, okay, wake up. Hello.
Yeah, I love
So
that.
it's
That's exactly it. Like a seed, it's got
Yeah.
the blueprint and it just sits around and waits
right.
until the right environment comes, and then it goes, oh, okay, wake up.
Wait, no. So, so what I would invite everybody to do is just let's take a breath. Get here into your body. And then have the intention to open up and receive the information, not only with your intellect, but with your heart and all the rest of you. So have the intention to receive it on all possible levels, with all bodies, all nerve endings, whatever it is. So wherever you have receptors, receive it. And you don't need to know the specificity of it. It's just the intention's fine. And you are always the best judge for what's right for you, right? So do what feels aligned and right for you. But that's my invitation. Just open up and receive. All right. So it starts a bit Halloween. And that's the part of it. Like we have parts of that going. So here goes, the money codes. Oh my goodness, I can't see a thing. I simultaneously shout, whisper, and soundlessly breathe. Truthfully, I can see something, but it's not at all what I expected. The scene around me looks like it was plucked out of some crazy haunted house. Big bloody pieces of meat, half-sides of animals really, are hanging from the ceiling by their legs, dripping blood onto a floor that is shrouded in fog. People in white lab coats are hectically running around, eyes glued to the clipboards they are wielding like occupational shields. I know there is a way out of this maze of horror, yet the more I look for it, the more my eyes get sucked onto yet another wall made from a dense, gray, jelly-like substance. None of this makes any sense. Neither can I figure out how to escape this mess. And I'm not sure if I'm even being heard. So I stop. I stop all efforts to go anywhere or change anything. I simply pause in the middle of it all and breathe, feeling my feet on the ground, feeling life running through my body. I am so terribly sorry the New Earth transformation technician, who I silently call third eye optometrist, apologizes in her lovely British accent. This is one of those ancient twisted reality slides. I have no idea how it landed in your slot. Maybe someone played a Halloween joke. I know you came here to see a new, clear, spacious, abundant reality around money for yourself and those you serve. Tell you what, I'll see if I can get you a free upgrade and give you access to experience our latest wealth beyond belief reality. Only very few people have been allowed to plug into it so far, but I feel you're actually ready. Gratitude. The word is flashing in front of my eyes as the assistant removes the horror slide and activates the prep program for wealth beyond belief. I know it's okay to share this intro with you either way. I'll check if we can proceed with the main program as well. Be right back, she says with a smile in her melodic voice as she leaves the room. I lay back on the simulator chair. Wow, what an exciting turn of events. I had heard rumors about wealth beyond belief being created, but I certainly did not see myself as being part of the initial few to actually experience it. These new reality simulation programs are famous for actually creating a very real and very fast change in someone's life. Wealth beyond belief. Am I really ready, I wonder? And then I decide to trust and simply surrender to the perfection of the unfolding. The program is beginning to take effect. I'm being flooded with gratitude and excitement, joy, and Vorfreude, which is joyful anticipation, flows through my body, taking residence in every nook and cranny, every cell, every atom, the space between the atoms. There seems to be no reason for it, yet the experience is so real, beyond real actually. It takes over my entire world, leaving room for only one more thing: love. When the technician returns, I'm floating in bliss, heart bursts wide open. I literally don't care if there is another part of this program. Well, she says, with a mixture of mystery, glee, and surrender in her voice, turns out there is no intro program. You are presently immersed in the actual wealth beyond belief. It clearly is your time. You are ready. Enjoy, receive, and breathe while you simply allow for the activation to fully take place. Enjoy, receive, and breathe while you simply allow for the activation to fully take place. And then there was another part that came a few days later. A few days later, things have already begun shifting in a massive way. My path is more clear. My whole world is feeling so much bigger in a real, grounded way. Doors are opening. Opportunities are showing up when I receive a message. We are honored that you are one of the initial participants in the Wealth Beyond Belief program. We trust that the activation is already doing its magic in your life. As all is connected, which you probably know, this is a living program that expands and grows through its participants. In this case, the program's feedback loop resulted in an important addition that we would love for you to experience at your earliest convenience. 2 days later, I am back in the simulator chair and watch my wonderful third-eye optometrist take out the new slide. She too has changed since the last time I saw her. She is more open, so I can feel her beautiful heart, and I can feel the reverence with which she handles the new slide. The program begins in the same way I'm already familiar with. I am being infused with gratitude, joy, joyful anticipation, and love. And then, after I feel fully saturated, something new comes in: generosity. This part of the transmission is different. I can feel it inside of me, but I can also see it on the outside, and it is creating an incredibly exciting feedback loop, more like a feedback spiral, really. I can feel an image of unlimited golden magical bubbles floating around me. One by one, they burst open, and as they do, I get infused with so much love that it wants to be shared, simply because it is so breathtaking that I want the world to feel what is indeed possible. The more I am in the energy of sharing this overflow, the more golden bubbles are right around me and the wealthier I feel. Breathing, allowing, surrendering to this as my new reality, inviting you to join me.
Mhm. That was fun.
Yeah.
Fun. I love the gold bubbles. So many different experiences of that kind of energy. We were at a place near here called Kaba. It's a ancient Mayan site. And the first time I went there, it was with my Aztec and Mayan friends who do ceremonies for us. And so they're really interested in the energies, the carvings, like I am.
Right.
And we came in and we could hear this buzz, and we thought it was a drone. And it turned out it was bees, and the whole field was covered in these tiny bees. And the guy's like, go ahead, go ahead. And we're like, oh shit, I've got sandals. And we went in, and by the time we got to the pyramids, we were levitating, and all of us could see. And then, especially as we sat down and meditated, these balls of golden, they were almost like pollen, like all around us. And then they were part of that high vibration energy that was lifting us up. So beautiful.
And bubbles are like, there is something about bubbles and spheres and orbs and those type of things, like the card that you just pulled, right?
The orb, yeah.
And there is something about this energy that is just joyful and playful, and it's going back to that, right? It's not in a box, and a
Yeah.
bubble can expand, right? There is that, like, it's almost built in that it's an easy expansion or contraction. It's breathing in, breathing out. So there is so much to spheres and bubbles that is actually constructing our new reality as we're
Yeah.
going out of boxes into this new, I've seen it so many times, into a new, more pliable way of construction.
Yeah. It's
In a
more
way.
co-creative.
It's
Right?
much more
It's like
creative.
the more present we are in the moment, the more that we're not just listening, we're not just imagining, we're actually looking, we're witnessing, right? Oh, what's in this moment? And they'd be like, oh, I'm feeling this gold thing. Me too. It's like pollen, oh, it's all around. Okay, yeah, and then you get to let it unfold. And the energy that creates a bubble. I love bubbles. I always have bubble wands when we go to the pyramids and stuff.
I know.
Bubbles everywhere. They're so
Well,
magical, right?
yeah.
Yeah. And then I don't know if anybody else is encoded with the Wizard of Oz, but Glinda, the magical white magic witch, she floats in a bubble, and appears and grants your wishes and points you in the right direction. And then she floats off. And so there's this, it creates that space. Like you said, we talk about how we live in a bubble. A lot of people live in a bubble. So yeah,
We
bubble
do.
energy, beautiful.
We do live in a bubble. Everybody has their own reality. And we all have our own bubble, if you will. And it always gets used as a kind of like derogative in a way. But truthfully, we all do. We have our own sphere of experience, perception, receiving, connection. We do actually live in a bubble.
Well, and you're supposed to. This idea that you're supposed to listen to the news 24/7 and know all these things that are happening in a million places around the planet as if that's going to change it. No, it's not. You're meant to be in your own space, in your own reality, right? Create the bubble that feeds you. If you're a seed, you're not going to grow if you're in a harsh environment. Right?
Yeah.
So, what I loved about what you were talking about, the third eye optometrist, that there was this lightness, this humor to, shifting how you approach, changing the mindset or the beliefs and manifesting, because it's so heavy. Everything's so heavy, like, my God, back in my day, one of the manifesting things was sit and write your affirmation like 100 times every night. I'm all for repetition. I understand that, but that kind of thing is like that masculine energy way of accomplishing something, but we're working with bubbles instead of pushing boulders around.
We do, and and I want to say, make no mistake how powerful that is. Like, there is this this fluffy lightness, right? Like, no, make no mistake how incredibly powerful this energy is. It really, there's this exchange that happens, this heart connection that can happen with that. There is things come together, go apart. It's so versatile, and it's yes. So they really want you to know that, make no mistake, it is incredibly powerful, and it starts at your core, right? Like, it starts right here. So the first step in all of this, all of the manifestation and all of this, the beautiful world that we're creating, is come back to you. Like, come back to your core, come back to you, pull your energies back, be here, be be fully here within yourself. And that's when you can grow. Part of that story was the generosity didn't happen until the saturation was there, right? Until you could actually feel grateful for where you're at. Like cultivate that gratitude, which seems like okay, gratitude. No, really, like feel it. Allow yourself to be saturated by it.
Yeah.
Like really tap into gratitude. That's the first step of then creating everything else
It's a
around
beautiful
you.
state, gratitude. It's very high frequency state.
It's very high frequency. It's up there.
Way up on the
very
scale.
close to enlightenment.
And I did not resonate with the whole be grateful, because to me, and I'm not really raised very religious, but it had that feeling of like judgment to it. Be grateful for what you have, be grateful for what you want. And so, I went through the whole era of The Secret and was friends with Joe Vitale and all these people in it. And it was like the gratitude rock and the gratitude this. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. And I'm doing all this other energy work and all this other spiritual work. And I couldn't tap into that because somebody else telling me I should do something felt like me giving my energy away again.
Yes.
And when it shifted was when I actually said, the guidance for so friggin' long was getting your feminine. I'm like, I'm feminine. I wear jewelry. What the hell? And it was like, get in your feminine, like get into that flow, that intuitive flow. And let that guide you, let that be part of what you're doing. So the energies are, and this is a card that came up, by the way, when you were talking. We were talking about bubbles and orbs, and this is another one of those angels of
Gabriel.
abundance. Look at that, Grace.
Grace. Yes. Oh my God, I got total goosebumps. Yes. And that's what it is. It gets you into this state of grace, right? Into this flow of grace where it's no effort. It's no effort.
And it's that thing you talked about, saturating yourself and then overflowing.
Mhm.
That energy. We weren't taught receive first. We're taught give to everybody else. You don't deserve to give. What are you giving to yourselves for if you big lazy thing? And that's kind of the culture, right? And that's sort of part of the planet, the programs on the planet, right?
Yeah,
and
there's
so
so
it's
much
like,
of it.
when you turn it around and you actually, instead of like, well, I don't know if I'm worthy, or you listen to that doubt voice and you just say, I have to breathe air, I have to drink water, I have to receive. As you receive that, like you were saying, you get saturated with the gratitude. If that to me is that gratitude of, maybe you can see it or relate to it better if it's a fairy or an angel or a dolphin saying to you, oh, I'm so grateful for you, you're wonderful. But at the same time, that receiving gratitude, not so that you can give it away, but receiving gratitude until you overflow with it, right? That you were talking about, that is exactly the way that you start to radiate, right?
Mhm.
Radiate the energies.
And it's almost like a gift to yourself, right? By allowing it. It's not detention. It's not like write it out until you finally figure it out.
Yeah. Do it again. No.
I'm grateful. It's not that. No, it's really inhaling it, breathing it in, and allowing it, and kind of seeing what you're grateful for. But it's really in. It's soft. It's a breath. It's not a doing. It's a beingness. It has part to do with our soul's dream here on earth to live in a state of gratitude. And gratitude is a superpower. Gratitude is a true superpower. It's so if we can remember it more and more, and I know we're all human. I certainly am. But if we can remember it more and more, miracles just effing happen.
Yeah.
They just do. And there is a state for me that is the perfect balanced state for for creating things or manifesting, creating your life, whatever you want to call it. I call it peaceful excitement.
I love that.
So it's both,
Excitement.
right? It's being excited for whatever is next, but it's chill, it's calm. And gratitude has a lot to do with it, because you're already coming from a place where you're fine. You're good. Like, this is awesome. So everything else that's on top of it is really cool. But your life doesn't depend on it. Nothing depends on it. It's just really fun to have it. So it's chill. It's peaceful. It's not hectic. And
I
it's
love that,
trusting.
because it's like savoring something,
Mhm.
right? Instead of like crunch, 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 it's all gone. Give me another one. It's like savoring and because when I think back about being a kid, at the time, sometimes I felt like I was going to go out of my mind if we didn't get to the presents or Halloween when I got to dress up or whatever. So, but I think of all of that fondly. I don't remember any time in the anticipation and the expectation of the goodies that are going to happen that I really wanted, that it was like, I was frustrated or I doubted it was going to happen. It was just, it's awesome and it's happening. Which
Right.
is what you were bringing everybody into, that state of like, it's here. Yeah, it's here already. We can upgrade that right now.
Yeah. And German has two words that I love. Well, there's one word and one that I kind of segue that into. So I'm originally from Germany. And so one word that was in the story as well is Vorfreude, which is pre-joy. Anticipation in English, but it's pre-joy if you translate it literally.
Come on.
So that one, and the other one, which isn't a word, but it should be one, is pre-gratitude.
Yeah.
So just being grateful for what's coming instead of having the anticipation of, well, it's probably going to suck.
Yeah.
So what if we are
going
in pre-joy and pre-gratitude for what's coming?
Yeah. And what's so great about that is that then you get to go through the time frame while you're finding your journey to wherever you're going to be, feeling it like it's here now, and you're signaling your genes ahead, like the scientists would say. And I would say you're talking to the future you, because there's a bazillion options of which future you're going to, align with and end up experiencing. And you're tuning into that. You're sending out more coherent signals about who I'm ready to be. Okay, I'm ready for that. That's kind of a cool reality. Yeah. Pre-joy. I love that. And it's like preparation.
Right.
We prepare to cook. We prepare to cook, we prepare to go on a trip.
Yes.
We prepare to take a shower. So this is so much fun. So let us know what else you have to share about 11/11 specifically. So we have all these beautiful, juicy feelings of, this and bubbles that we're creating, and pre-gratitude and pre-joy, and peaceful excitement. I love all these concepts.
All right. So let's check in what else wants to be said, aside from whatever was said already. So the first thing that comes through is, let's take a breath again and then relax into this portal, relax into it. So it's not, and you said it too, right? Like just be kind of curious, just allow yourself for the portal to meet you versus you running into it. So relax, smile, enjoy, receive. And like seriously, the theme of this was play, right? And that's it. Like, it's almost like if you can just dance through this portal, right? Like, play through it, dance through it. You might spin backwards and don't even know what hit you because you're just looking over there. Oops, and there's the thing. Have fun, relax. And it's almost like the less you can think about it, and the more you can just be in the experience of love, gratitude, free joy, and those type of things. And generosity, if you have something to give, like don't hold back. There's something that you want to give. If you are coming from overflow, that's another superpower, but only if you're coming from overflow. If you're not overflowing, you have to fill up first. You have to receive first. I mean, that, like, get that, please get that.
I'm
Here
getting
is
really awesome visions and Anne's here, and the dolphins just came and they're jumping and they're like doing the water wheel thing where they're growing like this. They're saying, you're moving forward, don't worry about it, we're taking
you're
care
moving
of it.
forward. Even if you think you're not, because you might just be having so much fun and spinning around and you don't even know what you're doing, and yet you are. And that's the whole point. So it can be stories like this. It can be, yes, go out and dance. It can be like play out in the yard or in nature or whatever it is, whatever allows you to breathe and relax and just feel the bubbles.
And blow bubbles. Get a bubble wand.
Don't blow bubbles.
Everybody, let's
Get a
all
bubble wand.
get our bubble wands. If you don't have one, go get one
Yeah.
immediately.
And is there anything else to be said around 11:11? No, like that's the essence of it. And if I could say more, it seems like, but it would become distracting, and now our minds would start going, oh, wait, there's this. No, just receive the energy of what we've been talking about, of playfulness and gratitude and relaxation and all of that, and generosity and
Ooh, I love the idea of generosity. Instead of thinking it as you have to give, is how generous can you receive? Because if you've ever lived with somebody who sucks as a receiver, it super sucks. And then you realize that when you don't receive well, it's kind of depleting for the energy that's giving to you. So yeah.
There was one experience that I've had in my life that was profound. So it was some years ago. I was in a bit of a tight spot with rent. And so somebody sent me a PayPal. And when I opened that PayPal, I was just flooded, like it literally almost took me back. I was flooded with the gratitude of this person that they were able to send me that PayPal. That was such a profound experience. I mean, obviously I was grateful because I was receiving it, but the gratitude for being able to give, that was pretty, that was pretty impressive.
Well, thank you. I was looking, I had some money here. I live in Mexico, so some pretty Mexican money here, but I just gave it to Chris earlier. It made me think of what you were saying, and thank you so much, Claudia Sassy. And is the first time I hired this particular shaman ceremony leader to bring people for a retreat, I got permission to go onto the sacred site, to be in the Jaguar Temple, and she came with musicians, and it was just epically awesome. And we're in the forest and jungle near this thing. And at the end, I pay her. Everybody wants cash here. And I had the money, and we went up and we hugged her and we thanked her and we said our little thing and handed her the money. And she didn't let go of my hand. She took my hand and she took, I don't know how to imitate it here. She took my hand and she left the money like this, and she held my hand and folded the money back towards me. And said something about, as you give this to me, I give it back to you. As I prosper, you prosper, something like that. And it was this just beautiful little thing. So I saw that when you said that. It was so pretty.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, this idea of reciprocity is, and we all grow. So that's the idea. We all expand, we all grow. It's not about taking anything from anybody. It's more like blossoming.
Ooh, blossoming. That's so funny.
Collectively, right?
I picked this card about 5 minutes ago. Blossoming.
Oh, look at that. See, it's functioning. I love when that all happens. It's kind of roll.
Oh, wow. Well,
It's
thank you
awesome.
so much, sweetie. It was such
You
a
are so
delight.
welcome. And I have one thing for the people that listen here, because I was thinking about, okay, what can I gift? So I have so I do sessions and specifically around soul path and soul mission and those type of things. And so I have a coupon that's $111 off for my 30-minute
Nice.
or 1 hour sessions. It's and I didn't send it to you. Should I send it to you?
Yeah, send it to me and we'll put it in the email, and then we'll make
Okay.
sure that here, when the YouTube is over, we'll make sure the links to
Okay, then
contact
I'll
you
just
and
text it to you. Cool. We'll do that.
Perfect. Okay, well, thank you. Yay.
Awesome. Thank you. That was so fun.
It was fun. I'm really into bubbles now. I'm gonna have to go figure out where my bubbles is. I used to take them to pyramids, and tomorrow we're going to a pyramid to be on top at dawn for 11:11. And I used to bring a backpack full of all kinds of crystals, my wand, my bubble wand, and incense, and all this stuff. And they don't let you take backpacks in anymore. So my bubble wand doesn't go with me anymore.
That will be there in spirit.
Exactly. Oh, well, thank you. Wonderful.
Much love.
Wonderful. Oh, good. So now we get to play with the dolphins. And I know this is like people have been waiting for the dolphins to come. I had a lady that was going to be on earlier, and she's not specifically dolphin oriented at all. But she's like a channel and an energy worker, and she's always like woo in the flow. And so a couple of years ago, I think I had her on my show, and we had the most fun. Oh my gosh. And we were like, the dolphins came in, and she, I introduced her, and she goes, "What's going on with the dolphins? They've been jumping all around you since I got on." And I was like, "Oh, well, I was swimming with the dolphins when I was pregnant with my daughter, and this and that." And then I was like, "Oh yeah." And the whole thing was just dolphin. And we were all like bliss brained out by the end of the 30 minutes because of the dolphins. So hello, Anne.
Hi, Nan. How are you?
Wonderful, wonderful. We're playing with the magic, and I love doing that. So
I love that. You have to pardon me. I have a bit of a cold, so my voice is a little struggling, but
no, it's fine. Everything will flow perfectly
Yes.
through it all. So, well, let me do a little quick intro and show everybody who you are.
okay.
And so if you're not familiar, this is a woman who has a seriously incredible life, which, you need to write in a book and make into a movie. So we have what and dolphin wisdom and healing. So this is supposed to say whale. This happens sometimes when we're in these big eclipse things and all this stuff. I
Yep.
look at what I write and I'm like, I don't even know what it was supposed to say. It was like I'm not in the body completely. So Anne is a fun and special and happy and easygoing woman who has a strong connection and passion for the natural world. Like I said, her life is just like a movie of the kinds of experiences she's had specifically with the animal world and nature. And she's deeply spiritual, but also well grounded to the everyday world, which is a rare combination. I will agree. She has playful enthusiasm, yay, which is infectious to all those around her. And she's spontaneous and ready for her next great adventure. Yeah. So as a humble woman, not yet afraid to take on a challenge, she's dedicated to sharing with others her love for the whales, dolphins, the natural world, as well as the Embera tribe and other indigenous peoples. And she can define her life purpose in one word: respect for animals, nature, and all humans. And you can find Anne or her website, whalewisdomretreats.com, or Anne at whalewisdomretreats.com. come. And she does retreats in all kinds of epic places with
Yep.
whales, with dolphins. She's got a card deck out now, right? An oracle deck, and you're doing more healing and more channeling work. And so, woo! So we're playing because we're between the eclipse and the full moon, where we took a right turn and we don't really know where yet, into a new identity, and we're moving into 1111, and we really have felt like we're sort of floating gently, being guided along, and these big pillars of light around us. And then when you came on the call, Claudia's talking and she starts to say something, so I'm tuning in, and then the dolphins are jumping. Almost, they were like not rainbow colors, but that pearlescent kind of
Yeah,
color.
ooh, nice.
So tell us a little bit about what the whales and dolphins and how they change your life and what they have to say to us and help
Oh,
us.
gosh.
I know, right?
Hey, everybody. Thanks for having me here. Man, how did they change my life? Well, you know, I was somebody who I've been an entrepreneur for a very long time. I was training animals for movies and television for over 20 years. I lived by myself and a bunch of animals. I was a typical animal person who was not very good with people, kind of afraid of people, but also lonely, right? And didn't really feel, and I wasn't spiritual at all, and just going through life one thing at a time. And then I started feeling, and I actually grew up boating in the Pacific Northwest. My dad had a boat. We spent every summer vacation in Puget Sound. And so I grew up watching the orca whales. So I've always had dolphins and whales in my life that I can remember. And yet in 1999, I started feeling the call of the dolphins. And what does that mean? What that means is that I started thinking about them. I started wanting to figure out how I could go, where I could go to swim with them. How could I, learn from them? And I booked an orca trip. I was still in the Northwest, and we went out. I booked it for my birthday, called my friends and family and said, I'm going, you can come if you want. And I had some friends come with me and some family, and we had what's known as a super pod. And a super pod is all three pods of the southern resident orca population, J, K, and L, came together, and it was the most amazing celebration. Every single behavior that they could have done, they did multiple times, swimming right under the boat, swimming right next to the boat, looking up at us, breaching, tail
It's like
slapping.
a performance.
It was a performance. It was a party. It was whales everywhere for 2 hours. It was amazing. So that was kind of like the opening. And then I started reading more and more about dolphins, whales, and their spiritual connection, what we can learn from them. And then and then I moved to California, and I, interestingly enough, knew it was a transition. I just didn't know to what. And I would go out. I wasn't right near the beach at the time. I was about an hour drive. So on the weekends, I'd go out and spend time on the coast, always seeing dolphins, sometimes seeing whales, and doing more and more meditating and really inviting them in. And then in 2004, I started a program with Linda Shea and took that program. It was 6 weekends spread out over a year and a half, learning what she calls dolphin living skills, how to live in joy and play and flow and opening to abundance, et cetera, just like what you've been talking about before. And part of that was learning how to be a dolphin energy healer. And the interesting thing was, when I signed up for the program, I was like, I don't care about that. I don't want to be a healer. I have no interest in that. And I'm not somebody who, like you were saying, you saw the dolphins. I don't feel energy. I can't see auras. I can't feel, when I'm doing it, it feels like I'm doing nothing. However, when we start practicing it, my my partners were experiencing amazing things and would report to me. And when I would close my eyes, I started seeing this steady stream of visions and messages. That's how I sense energy, not a physical feel, but it's like watching a movie in my mind. And ever since then, and it just grows and grows and grows and gets even more powerful as the years go on. And so, yes, of course, I became a certified dolphin energy healer. And now, because to me, it's turned out that I have more of a whale soul than a dolphin soul. And so the whales are very, very present. And as soon as I started inviting the dolphins and whales into my life on a spiritual level, I have never felt lonely since. I mean, I enjoy my alone time, but I am never lonely.
Yeah.
Even in the most troubled times, the times of stress. In fact, here's a funny story. When I was going through, starting to go through a divorce, that whole, when you're realizing that that's the next step you have to take and the breakup of a marriage, it's awful. It's just, there's no two ways about it. It's awful.
Yeah.
And tons of emotions and feelings and grief. I was living in Panama City, where my husband and I lived in Panama, not Florida. And I was in a taxi, sitting in the back of a taxi in a very busy intersection in Panama City, people everywhere, buses, cars, lights, horns. It's, chaos.
Very noisy.
Very noisy. And I was feeling just really fighting back the tears in this back of this taxi by myself going home. And just the emotions were overwhelming. And this bus crossed the intersection. We were stopped at a red light. This bus crossed the intersection. The bus had a full-sized orca whale painted on the side of it. And it was a lifelike with like a picture. And I looked at that. Now, you also have to know that I have never seen an orca painted anywhere in Panama. Orcas are not common. They're extremely rare there. They don't even, most tourist places have dolphin stuff everywhere. And we had wild dolphins, but they didn't even have tourist stuff. I mean, it took me years to find one baseball cap with a dolphin on it. They just don't have them. So to have a bus with not just a dolphin or whale, but an orca, ones that I grew up with, go right past me. And it was like, oh yeah, I'm not alone. They're with me in my pain, in my, in dealing with this tough life situation. I am loved and supported.
Mm-hmm.
And it can be that random and crazy. It can be you standing in line at the grocery store and the person in front of you has a t-shirt with a dolphin on it, right? It can be that random, but it's not random at all.
Yeah, it is. It's so beautiful. Of course, I grew up with Flipper. And so I'm the Flipper generation. I wanted it. Why don't I live in Florida? What the hell's going on? Type of
And I
thing.
have a dolphin in the backyard.
But I didn't, and I always wanted to get to the beach, and finally live at the beach. But it never occurred to me that I could go see dolphins. And I was living in New Mexico, extremely landlocked.
Right.
And the dolphins started to come in my meditations and things. It was like I was learning to meditate. I was learning all this stuff.
Yep.
And I was trying to get pregnant. It'd been a very long time. And it was just like constantly learning energy works, doing animal communication, all these different things. And then I started waking up. Why am I thinking about dolphins? There's no internet. There's none of that stuff going on. So it wasn't like blah, blah, blah. Let me see what they say on the internet about this.
Yeah.
And I don't even remember now how, but I ran into somehow about this woman who lived in New Mexico and took people on wild dolphin swims in the Bahamas.
Right.
And I just was, I know why, because my friend and my animal communicator friend who was going to be here today, that's why she was going to be like the guest on the dolphin swim, right? So when you went on it, she would do talks while you were sitting around
Sure.
waiting for dolphins to show up and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. And I knew immediately I have to go on this. I
Yes.
have to go on this. And I get really, really seasick. I am not a boat person.
Right.
And I was like, it doesn't matter. So it was one of those soul calls. It didn't matter. I was going to do whatever it took. And thank God, as I turns out I was pregnant. I was a natural healer. So I refused to take Dramamine or any of this
Right.
stuff. And so here I went out on this boat and I'm like laying on my back anytime they're saying, unless when they're saying dolphins,
Right.
and then we jump in with our fins and everything. And then people were like, I didn't see the dolphins. And they're like, look for her. They're always around her. Why are they around her? You know? And then I came back and found out I was pregnant. And so, yeah, they can be really profound. And then the working with them,
Yes.
seeing them in these places like you have. Well,
Yeah.
I do, like I said earlier, man, the ability they have to scan your energy field, to raise your energy field, to unhook, to rebalance, to recalibrate your energy
Yes.
field. And so is there something wonderful that the whales, dolphins, both either wants to share with us today?
Well, I don't know. Let's tune in and
Going
find
to
out.
know. Let's
I
find
don't
out.
know.
Can we pull one of
So-
your cards?
We can start with a card.
Let's start with
My
a
wisdom from the
card.
Z card deck. So I'm just going to scroll through and I'm going to let you choose. Don't
Okay.
go in.
Okay, that one you're touching there. Yeah.
Yep, I felt that. Oh, interesting. This is Sea Lion teaches
Oh.
about focus. Sea Lion tells us being fully focused is a form of freedom. Freedom to perform at your absolute best.
Yeah, that's like surrendering into the moment.
It's
Right.
totally surrendering into the moment. Not in our world today, it's so hard not to be distracted by, you know, all the phone, the email, the this, the that, right? But focusing on, and I think, you know, I'm gonna take this to what you guys were talking about before, and that is focusing on gratitude, focusing on your intentions, focusing on the positive, focusing on your goals. How often do you really sit and do that? Right? We don't do it nearly enough. And at this, 11/11 opening is a perfect time to focus on what you want in the world.
Mhm.
Right?
Mhm.
It's not about what you don't want. It's not about focusing on, do you have enough money to pay your bills this month? And whether that's true or not, it doesn't matter. It's focus on the goal, the vision, and let go of the how.
Yeah, and sea lions are playful,
So
right?
playful.
Talk about playful. They spin, they go, ooh,
Absolutely. They're like
know?
the puppies of the sea.
Yes, I know. I love that. I love that
Yes.
so much.
Yeah.
Okay, good. What else is coming?
I don't know. So let me tune in. I'm going to close my eyes. Just everybody who's watching, just invite the dolphins and the whales. And what I'm hearing is from both the whales and the dolphins is that we are here for you. You are never alone. That we are like the angels. We are spiritual beings. And we are here to support you in any way. But all you have to do is ask. We respect your choice. So we will never impose. So if you don't ask, you will not feel us. But if you ask, we are always here. and just invite us. I'm just feeling this really full feeling in my chest. So much love for you. And that the whales and the dolphins hold a vision for you, for all of humanity. Dolphins and whales, yes, are physical beings, yet they're fully conscious of their spirit, of their soul. So much so that they can shift dimensions physically. They can move through portals. They can move across oceans. And they hold the vision for you to become fully conscious of who you truly are, which is not just this physical body. The dolphins and the whales want you to imagine a dolphin's body next to a whale's body. The huge size difference. That is a perfect metaphor. Your human physical body is the dolphin, but each and every one of you has a soul that is the size of the whale's body. Your true self is your soul. You are limitless. You are immense. You are huge. Yet many of you only identify with your physical body, which is just a small aspect of yourself. They are inviting you. You have the doorway within you. And that on this 1111 portal, it helps. It's an easier way. It's like they're showing me this vision of like a creaky door with rusty springs to open it. And that they're greasing that doorway. The 1111 portal makes it easier. It's almost like this portal actually opens that door a crack. And the light is shining through. The light from your soul is shining through. And where to find that, you're probably already feeling it, is right in your heart, in your center. And they're inviting you to step through and fully embody your soul body, that whale-sized and beyond aspect of your soul, which is where you truly live. Yet most of us have this, it's almost like this helmet of humanity that keeps us from seeing our true selves. In your whale soul body, you have limitless potential. You can be and do anything. Any idea you come up with in your human brain is achievable through your soul. Your soul always knows how to make it happen. There is no need for struggle. There is no need for not stepping into your highest potential. You are powerful. You are soul. This humanity is like, think of your human body and think of your little toe. You don't think about your little toe very often unless you hit it on something and it hurts. Your human body is like your little toe to your soul. Your soul is your guidance system. Your soul, let your soul guide your life. Guide your human aspect. And just breathe that in. You know this is true. And if it helps, just imagine above your human body, you have a giant blue whale floating above your head, guiding you. But it's not a blue whale. It is your soul. And you are connected to it in a way that cannot be disconnected until this human body no longer exists. But just like you could live without your little toe, you can live a fabulous, amazing, magical life without the human body. But that together, you can make miracles happen on this physical plane. You can transform your life today just by stepping through that door into your soul. And tomorrow is a perfect day to say yes to your soul. And the dolphins and the whales are here to happily, joyfully allow yourself to be more conscious and step into, open that door wide to your soul, to your whaleness. And the dolphins are always along with the whales, bringing in the joy and the play and the laughter that yes, this is serious. And it can be a joyful serious. Stepping into your soul can be playful, can be joyful, and is as easy as laughter. We are here to guide you. We are here for you. We see your soul. We see your inner beauty. We see your heart, your passion, your purpose. We are here. We love you. You are a beautiful soul. Whoa. Wow. How was that?
Wow, wonderful. Wow. It was so cool. When you said there was this door, something rusty. It was like I was underwater and like a scuba diver, going to look at a wreck or something. And there was like a round porthole type of door from a ship, but it's
Yeah.
underwater and everything was rusted.
Yep.
And it was like you didn't really have to unlatch it or open it. It was already just sort of hanging a little bit
Right.
open, and that bright light was coming through it. And then it just like stopped being rusty, okay, so to speak, right?
Yes.
It's just so
Yes.
it could move. And then when I went through on the other side, it was like you're underwater when you look up, and it's just that bright light coming straight down through the water.
Nice.
And so I started at one point like swimming up, and I could sort of see like a, human shape sort of swimming up towards it. And the fun thing was when there was something you said at the end. I can't remember now what it was, but it was like this little like, okay, move up towards it, move up towards it. And then it was like, I don't know, it was like a permission. You said something like you can, or you are, or something like
Mhm.
that. And then it wasn't, oh, am I getting to the surface? Am I going to, move through the surface? I just became the light.
Beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. Woo,
Ah.
fantastic. I love it. Woo. Well, I have a bunch of wands here, and this blue one, this kyanite one came,
Ooh.
and I was holding it here, and it gives me splinters, that kind of hurt. So I usually don't touch it a lot. And it was like touch, touch, touch. This guy came out of this deck I had here. So, oh, wonderful. Let's see what people are saying. Anybody have anything to say about their dolphin experience there? That was wonderful. So the ideas of the whale, that's what it was. Before you said that, you see this big blue whale. I was looking
Mhm.
up, and this big whale silhouette, was going. And I love that idea that I can be the playful dolphin,
Mhm.
playing smaller, more, more playful. But then I could go out and I can be that big, just floating, like, being
Mhm.
that whale being too. That's
Yes.
lovely.
Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Oh, well. So what's your next adventure you're going to go on?
Well, I just got back. I like 2.5 weeks ago. I was swimming with humpback whales in Moorea, where we have French Polynesia, where we had this baby whale on one day that just came and was like all over us. I mean, we're not supposed to touch them. They're wild animals, but this baby didn't read the rule book. And it literally touched almost every single swimmer in the water. I mean, some belly to belly, and it reached out its giant pec fin to me, and I just gently laid my hand on top, and it was just amazing. My next adventure is actually one right here in California where I live, where it's welcome in the new year with the whales. It's a 3-day retreat right here in Orange County, where we're going to go out every day, 3 days. One is an 8-hour whale watch on a really comfortable boat. And this is gray whale season for us here. But this place is actually a whale heritage site. And it is one of the places in the world, with the most variety of dolphin and whale species anywhere that you can see. It is not uncommon to go out there and see 2-3 different species of whales, to see 2-3-4 different species of dolphins. So it's going to be a magical. And then, of course, I'll lead meditations and group dolphin whale energy healing sessions throughout the weekend. So, yeah.
That's so fun. So fun. I know I look at your things and I can't do them. I guess like 8 hours on a boat, I would just shoot myself. But
Well, here's the
it's
thing.
gotten better. It's gotten
Yeah,
better.
I get that. I am going to do a retreat for people like you. I don't have the exact dates yet. Haven't worked out the details, but it'll probably be in April in Sedona, and it's called Dolphins in the Desert.
I love it. Oh my
And
God.
it's all about developing your spiritual connections with the dolphins.
Nice. Perfect. Wonderful. So
Hey.
what's your website again?
It is whalewisdomretreats.com. And I have a couple of free gifts if people are interested. If you would like to meet your personal dolphin spirit guide, I have a guided meditation where you can do that. And you all have one if you want one. And it's dolphinspiritguide.com.
Nice.
Super easy. And then I also have a guided meditation where you can merge with a mother humpback whale. And that is called beingwhale.com.
I love it being whale duck. Oh, that's beautiful. That's wonderful. You know, you were talking about the baby whale, like didn't read the rules.
Right.
The one time I was with, we call her Dolphin Donna because I have a lot of Donnas in my life.
Right.
We were over there and they had these two females that were pregnant, separated together. And so I had been several times around them before and then
Mhm.
during, and then we came with my retreat and we got to, the babies were old enough. So we were like the first group to get to go in with the babies. And this one was like playing with the leaf, you know, on the thing and kept trying to bring the leaf. And the guardians were like, no, just stay right there. No, just stay right there. And then we were in there with a bunch of people doing energy work with Donna and stuff. And this one, the baby girl, I forget her name right now, she kept coming over because she'd been watching her mothers kiss humans.
Right.
So they want to mimic, just like kids, they want to mimic
Yes.
mom and dad. So she would just charge towards me, and they'd be like, no, you're not old enough, like the baby whale, no, you're not old enough. And it was ridiculous. There were a lot of people were doing healings on each other, floating in the water and all this. And finally I look over at, the owner, and she just tells the instructor,
Forget it.
just let it happen. Just
Yep,
let it
let
happen.
it
This
be.
is supposed to happen. And then the trainer was just like, do you realize what you just got? You got the first kiss from then, it's just this big, but it was like they didn't want to stay away. They were
Yeah,
tired of that.
yeah.
The one was trying to give
Beautiful.
everybody his leaf. And
Oh,
so,
that's sweet.
yeah.
Sweet. Nice.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Anne. And again,
Welcome.
like so many, you just jumping in, and I'm so glad we got to play again. And
Absolutely.
and thank you so much for bringing that. That's beautiful. I highly recommend everybody re-listen to that. That's something you could like go to sleep to.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
That
Yeah.
would be wonderful.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Yay. Out there in
Bye.
that beautiful place in California. The only thing I didn't like about living in California was the ocean's cold.
Yes, it is.
In it, where I live.
I
it's
agree.
warm.
Agree.
And I used to be like, it's okay. And then I got older.
Yeah, not so much.
So
All
I did a lot
right.
of
Lots of
beach
love.
walking. Bye.
Bye.
All right, fantastic. So we're going to wrap up our 11/11 Festival of Light. It is 11/10/22, but as Claudia, one of our speakers, pointed out, the numerology of today is a 9, which is typically it embodies other things, but you talk about as completion, or what we talk about as unity, the unity wave of consciousness at the top of the Mayan pyramid. This is where we are. And tomorrow, 11/11/22, is a 1. And that's new beginnings. That's you and you and you and the universe and all those different symbolisms of ones coming together for you and bringing those pillars of light, bringing that light, lighting the way, lighting the way. Fantastic. Well, I want to say thank you so much to all of my beautiful guests who came to play today and help us play with angels. We played with bubbles. We played with dolphins. We played with gratitude. I opened up with some answers and a guided entry into 11/11. So be sure you re-listen to that at least tomorrow, maybe for 3 days or something. And so I want to bring through a message to wrap it up. Yes, Jillian says that was wonderful, the whale thing. Thank you. And beautiful. Cheryl said it went very deep then with the dolphins and whales. Thank you. I will definitely repeat. Yes, I've done that, merged with a whale. Very amazing. Thank you. You're so welcome. It just turned 11/11 here. Woo! That's so fun. So I don't know if that's actually coming through. Thank you for sending your love. And so let's go ahead and we're going to tune in to see what is the last channeling excitement that we have. And I think we'll have to do more of these where we just come together and we channel the energies that are optimal for the moment. So I did while I picked up one of my animal card decks, and it's this Colette Baron Reed one, I think. And I opened it. First I got canary, And it says to sing your own song with a crown on a golden flute. So we're talking about gold, we're talking about creating your own bubble, being lifted up and guided into who you are. And then the dolphin came, which I just kind of almost reached over to the deck out of curiosity, like, oh, if I do this, and the dolphin came. And this particular deck says 20, which is a 2, which is unity, and this and that are true. This and that are true. Now, that means that both realities are true. Things are the same, just different in degrees, like cold or hot. It's just turning the temperature up or down. All energies can be used for love and good, and all energies can be used for manipulation, control, and greed and selfish purposes. So it isn't the thing, it isn't the energy, it isn't the card deck, it isn't the intuitive abilities, it isn't the herb, it isn't the incense, it isn't any of this stuff. It is who you are vibrating as. And that it's so wonderful to me, having been doing this for 33 years or more, type of work, to see so many people stepping in and getting into their flow, releasing their fears of being in their intuition. So I do want to remind you that we have Akashic Records sessions are on sale, but also we have just put on a little bit of a flash sale for our Intuition Awakening. And I could seriously go on and on about it. Suffice it to say that it's become the core program that is so powerful that people, right now I'm specifically working with a group of people that are wanted to take it further. Some of them wanted the certification to use, and they're already getting paid, and we haven't even finished the certification. And some of them said, oh, I just did this for myself, but then one of them starts having people show up that want readings. And I get to see the deeper and deeper we go, the more that you awaken your intuition, the more that you connect to these realms that are available all the time, and you align yourself in the correct way with what's optimal to you, then you don't receive a whole bunch of different guidance. You don't try to figure it out in your head. You really surrender into it. So we've got 3 payment plans. You can, these are not the sale prices written right there. They're 3 months, 6 month, 1 payment, and it's on sale from $555 to $333, and all the versions of whatever that means per month. And there is instant access. So we have a beautiful page that has all the videos, all the audios, all of the manuals, all the PDFs. You can walk through the activations. You can walk through learning about your light body. You can walk through listening to the case studies, listening to the practice sessions, and you get included in this access to some of the live practice sessions. So if we're not doing the course live when you join, like right now, starting in January, we will have live practice sessions. And as you can hear on the recordings, these are epic. People are blowing their own minds. People are thinking, oh, I can't do that. They're better than me. And they don't think what they just did is true. And they're afraid and they want to run away, and all their fears come up and everything like that. And then they get to watch it right there in this sacred safe space. It's so amazing. And similar to like Anne channeling for us, or we've got some bonuses. You get like awaken your 360 senses, chakra intuition boost, intuition amplified, lots and lots. There's just so much beautiful stuff in this course. So what happens is that as you start to give attention to your sacred feminine, balancing your masculine and feminine, that came up, gold and silver, tuning into spirit guides, that power animals that have been with you your whole life, tuning into nature and fairy realms, and rocks and stones and water and earth and thunder beings and the moon and these energies that we're in right now. Why does it matter? Do you have to become a professional? Do you have to be able to see her in that way? You know, Anne was saying she wasn't spiritual at all. And then the dolphins came in and they slowly led her to this. It wasn't like she just decided one day I have to climb a mountain and become this. However, if all you do is become your own inner authority, and you can channel and you can pay attention to the synchronicities, and you learn the different ways that languages that you're being guided by your own self or the fairy realm or these other ones, whether it's cards, whether it's astrology, whether it's doing soul readings with people, activating your own intuition is your number one insurance that you're going to keep developing. You're going to keep being open to optimal guidance. You're going to be you're going to ride the wave rather than be pulled under the wave of these energies that are coming on the planet right now. So, okay, let's see what messages we have here. I know, right? We're going to sleep well. We got people in the UK and in Scotland and all kinds of places here, spheres and connected. So, yes. So let's get back in the boat. Let's take a deep breath in. And through gratitude, say thank you, thank you, thank you, and appreciation, that appreciation for you, for yourself, that you're here, that you're this kind of a being, that you could connect and find a group like this, that you're ready and willing to open to whatever level you're communicating at with fairies and dolphins and whatever else you resonate with. It doesn't matter if all you do is just feel warmth on your back or a feeling of yellow glowing around you. These are ways that they start. So just like our speakers, just like me, I started in the dark ages a bazillion years ago, and it was very difficult. It was very difficult to find guidance and to trust yourself. And I was very lucky because as I got on this path, I got to practice and practice. So for you, you practice being yourself for a long time. Take a nice deep breath in. Feel the dolphins coming up, feel the whale, feel that door open that's open for you now. This new connection to your soul. Feel the light coming in. And come back into your present moment. Let that sun carry you into this portal. There is a guide that is sort of like a gondolier, sort of pushing a rod, but it's a rod of power. It's like a staff with a symbol on the end, and it's like an Egyptian god that is pushing or kind of helping to direct your guidance through these 1111 portal. So right now is the time to be very present and quiet and feel as if you're slowly floating through that portal. And there is a message here. There's a vision coming. There are some pyramids appearing. There's a focus on an above and below pyramid. There's dolphins swimming around the pyramids, like creating a mandala. They're moving, all pointing in the counterclockwise direction. And they're saying, we can swim, we can move time back, we can release energies, we can unravel what you thought, we can release you from all that you thought you had to carry with you, all that you thought you failed at, all that you thought you weren't enough, and everything else you've been waiting for, or uncertainty, or fears, known and unknown. And they're just moving around in this mandala of these two pyramids. And it's unwinding and unraveling. And there's a beautiful vortex of light now that you're being steered into, almost as if the air, the reality in front of you opened like curtains parting. And you've been directed straight in here. The guide started out as Thoth, turned to Anubis, and keeps taking on different embodiments of different Greek gods at the moment. And there's an Ankh. This Ankh is your unique vibrational power. So you're being unraveled, and the tension within you and the resistance within you and the frequency that has created a shutdown or a closed off or a disease is being unraveled gently and slowly, like holding on to something for so many lifetimes that you're slowly letting go. And there's a ring on that hand that has been holding on, and it slowly begins to lift off. It's a gold ring. And a dolphin comes out of this sphere that is turning everything and comes into the center. It lifts that ring up like a little crown on the top of its head. And you start to see frequencies coming out. They're radiating out through that. They're attuned to your gold ring, to this wisdom of who you came here to be. What is that soul potential? How can your soul shine? How can you attune to the abundance, the love, or the magic that is already here for you? This is what has been freed. And now the dolphins begin to do synchronized swimming all around us. And there's little lights. They're not sure if they're fairies or they're little lightning bugs. They're just little lights. And they're glowing and sparkling and opening and closing and becoming and closing and opening and bringing light and magic and this sense of an etherical place. And the dolphin is looking you right in the eye, and it's wearing that ring like a crown. And the vibration that it is putting into the ring is like a projector, and it's bringing life to your golden sphere, your golden bubble of purpose. And as it vibrates, it starts to float. And the dolphin swims down, and those frequencies engulf you. And the gold ring comes back to you, buried inside of the fear and the tension, now freed for you, within your emotional field, within your spiritual field, within the light. Your play will activate this frequency. The frequency will activate the above and below, the energies of your purpose encoded in your light body. And that will in tune vibrate. This gold ring was forged from your heart, from your soul's purpose. When it receives this beautiful frequency of light, when you move through 1111, when you move into the next beautiful frequency, it's going to sing. It's going to recalibrate you. It is a receiving of the gold that is your value and your beauty, and it is being amplified. It is like a singing bowl that is being activated, and as it vibrates out, it is opening your senses and your awareness. You're now between the portal. And here you're asked to get off of this sunboat. And there is a beautiful guide there. There's a staff and there's a symbol, and this beautiful animal guide takes you upstairs. Abundance, beauty, you smell flowers, you could taste. It is like an overwhelming, you're overflowing with your senses, with deliciousness, with savoring the pleasure of all that is. 1111. Meet you. Meet the universe. Meet source. Meet the one heart, the one mind. Meet the one you and the oneness of all. And like an elixir, like an aroma, it goes and encompasses you. And you don't go back to the boat, and you don't go back to the channel. You've crossed this veil, and the path and the trail take you along into a whole new world to discover of magic. Come here and play here. Play here every day. Play in the intuition playground. Play with the fairies. Thank you to the unicorns and to Pegasus. Thank you to the angels. Thank you to the angels and the love. Thank you to the gold bubbles and the existence, the beautiful flow of the golden ribbon of prosperity consciousness. Thank you to the whales and the dolphins and to our souls and to the light and to this beautiful moment. Accept that you have left your old purpose. You've docked, you've completed that journey. This is a real completion. And now you step off onto a new land, into a new you. And it is filled with beauty and light and glowing. It's filled with magic. Your senses are more alive and more awake. You feel a sense of purpose and glowing. That joy and that gratitude are overflowing from you. And as they do, codes of light pour from you. They create the reality around you. Like the yellow brick road, the gold light pours out. The guides co-create. And you see and sense that you're on a whole new reality, a whole new hero's journey, a whole new heroine's story. And you know you're ready. You know you're connected. You have this beautiful space. And it will stay here holding you and guiding you for 3 or 4 days. And then you will know that it's time for you to wander out with your new connections, your new light, and explore this new part of your next earth, your next reality, more aligned with your soul's purpose. Say thank you, thank you, thank you, and receive these gifts. Receive that gold ring, receive the recalibration of the dolphins, receive your whale of a soul floating always near you, calling to you. Feel the angels, breathe in the love, bring it down into this moment, anchor it into your 3D reality, into your chair, into your room, into the moment. I am that I am connected, I am light, I'm bringing this magic with me and I overflow with it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. May this circle be open yet unbroken, and this magic go with each of us in our minds, hearts, touch, and every step. See it like when you step somewhere, colors and flowers go out and out and out. Namaste, and so it is. We have one more beautiful, that's a nice one too. Now we have one more beautiful guide that wants to come through right now in the moment. And it is our Pegasus. So our Pegasus says that, here, give me a second. I have to get the deck. La 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 la. Here it is. Okay. Oh, okay. I wasn't sure what you would see if I stood up. So here's our Pegasus deck, and this one is Alana Fairchild. They're very, very beautiful. They're very different than cards I've used. But since our Pegasus showed up as one of the guardians, one of the pillars of light, and our unicorn did too. Thank you so much. Pegasus, the golden spirit of Pegasus. We've had a lot of gold energy coming, and it's a 3. See if you can see. Let's see if I can get a little bit closer. So the clouds. Now, these aren't like some decks where you can do a lot of reading by the imagery, but you can by the focus, by the main, by the tail being up, right? The gold light, the clouds, there's light coming out, so there's guidance coming. And this particular one is telling us, so I am going to look at the book because this is a deck that I do not know well yet. And I feel like there's something in here. Spirit guardian, Pegasus brings healing to the solar plexus chakra. So it's our sun speaking to us with vibrant gold and yellow light. And through unconditional love, divine grace, and enlightened wisdom, I open to healing and embrace the gifts of self-trust, confidence, and the courage to step forward on my life path for the spiritual benefit of all beings. All right, everyone. Namaste. I hope I see you soon. Don't forget to get the Intuition Awakening. There's lots of ways to get into it, and it will change your life literally overnight. So have fun. Have a wonderful 11/11. I will send you all kinds of love from the top of Mayapan. Akasha here, Nanakasha. Take care.